Tonight, meteorologist Jeremy Kappell with you on this Monday night. Unfortunately, I've got more bad weather to talk about. Our friends down there in Dayton, Ohio, experiencing some really tough conditions tonight. I was hoping to be done with my weather broadcast at the end of a couple of shows, but I do want to jump back on here. This is Weather Live now on our YouTube channel to pass along that there is a tornado emergency that is occurring right now for Montgomery County in southwest Ohio. Again, a very serious situation developing. This does include the city of Dayton, Ohio. Guys, I'm not on here for fun, and this is not fun. I really wish that I didn't have to be on here at this moment, but as mentioned, a dangerous tornado now approaching the city of Dayton, Ohio. I cannot urge you enough to take shelter, and I need you guys to share this video like wildfire. It's 11 o'clock at night. A lot of people winding down after a very busy weekend. A lot of people maybe tuning out, with the holiday being, 3-day holiday weekend. A lot of people kind of tired. They're ready for bed. I need your all's help to get the word out. Dayton, Ohio, this is a tornado emergency for you. As I'm talking to you, as the storm is approaching Dayton, again, it's what appears to be a violent tornado, potentially violent tornado, nighttime tornado. We need to get the word out. Again, this is Dayton, Ohio, Montgomery County. Tornado emergency has been issued for your area. I'm sending out a tweet now. If you guys can help me through whatever social media you guys are on. This is a life-threatening emergency for a lot of people that may be unaware. Let's get right on over to our analyst radar where you're looking at it on our this is a WSV3 Dayton. Again, that storm is moving in quickly. I want to make sure that we get as much advance notice out as possible. It's getting so close to the city of Dayton as we speak. We're going to go on over to our analyst radar, and I appreciate your all's help helping to get the word out that we are on here at this time. Again, dangerous tornado possibly in progress. Here's my camera back up. Like I said, you don't wish this on anybody, and I would really love to be able to go to bed, but I cannot in good conscience with a storm like this. It's located very close to Dayton now. You've got to be in your safe place. Get it out. Downtown Dayton is located right here in the center of your screen. We're seeing a very tight rotation just to the north. And what's the name of this town? Shiloh, S-H-I-L-O-H. That's where it's located currently. And I'm looking at some extreme turbulence, 75 and 65, somewhere in the order of 140 mile per hour, gate to gate shear. Again, this is an observed large, dangerous tornado. That's for northwestern Greene County, northeastern Montgomery County. Tornado emergency has been issued. The storm is moving east at 35 miles per hour. This is going to make its way right into portions of northern Dayton. So again, confirmed large, dangerous tornado on the ground. If you could help me get the word out that we're on here, it's very important. My friend lives in the Ohio area, in that area that's coming in from Lunar Wolf. Reach out to them, call them, send them a text. Again, this is no joke. It's happening again. Such a busy couple of weeks for severe weather, and it's not ending tonight. That is a tornado emergency for Montgomery County. That is the city of Dayton. I'm putting this into motion for you. The storm is not getting weaker, it's getting stronger. New information coming in from the National Weather Service. Train spotter reporting numerous trees down Union Road, State Road 49 in Clayton. A short time while earlier, the report came in 5 miles west northwest downtown Dayton. 5 miles west northwest, large tornado on the ground heading east. So that's what we're looking at here in these images. This is a no joke. This is a no doubter. This is a large, potentially violent tornado on the ground. Dayton, Ohio, Montgomery County, that is a tornado emergency for you. That's a debris ball that we're showing you in the middle here. Getting an update on the marker. That is a debris ball on top of North Ridge. North Ridge. I'm going to try to send out a memo while I'm talking to you. And let's try to get those areas further downwind. Riverside, Page Manor, Huber Heights, Fairborn, all of this area. Again, intense tornado appears to be on the ground right now. This is a major metropolitan area, possibly being just absolutely battered by a nasty, nasty supercell. The signature is there. And I'm taking this time, again, to send out as many messages through all of my social medias as possible. Give me a moment while I do this, if you don't mind. Help me get the word out. Again, tornado emergency in progress. We don't want to see a disaster. So far, we've been fortunate with the tornadoes, the strong tornadoes that we've seen the last couple of days. It's avoided major metropolitan areas. This is not avoiding anything. This is going right on into Metro Dayton. It's in North Dayton right now. I'm getting, again, an image up on my Facebook page where you, if you're on Facebook, you can share it. If you're only doing the YouTube thing, share this video and do it now. Again, people are going to bed. They may be unaware. Maybe they thought that the weather was winding down. It was a long holiday weekend. They may be unaware. And so this may be the one way that you can get their attention, is by sharing this video. Please do so for the sake of all the thousands and thousands of people that live in Montgomery County, North Dayton. This appears to be a destructive tornado. Just judging from radar, it does appear to have all the telltale signatures that you would expect, again, of a large, violent tornado. Major metropolitan area. And I'm working as fast as I can, getting the messages out to my other Facebook and Twitter networks, my social media. I've got friends, I've got family that's down in that area. And the last thing we want to do is for these guys to possibly have received a warning and we didn't do enough to get it out. So that's, that is the purpose of this YouTube channel in its essence. So that's out. That's on my primary Facebook page now. Again, tornado emergency has been declared for portions of Montgomery County. And I'm also going to share this over with my my personal page because I've got friends that are in there. I've got family that are close to that area. And I just don't want to take any chances that we've missed. We went to bed a little too soon. We were a little lazy. We didn't click the share button because this could save a life. This could be a difference maker for the lives of people, again, in northern Montgomery County, in the Dayton area. Large, what is being described by the National Weather Service as a potentially destructive tornado. I will say that the signature that I'm looking at on radar right now, and you are too, you're looking at it with me, live in real time, is a scary, scary image. This is located right there on the interstate. I believe that is 77 that runs north and south. Let me get confirmation. Is it 77? What is the north-south highway? It's not 75 because that runs to Cleveland. But this is appears to be a debris ball in the middle of your screen here, and that velocity signature is just awful. So let me get some numbers on here, and I'm looking at winds with respect to the radar site of somewhere in the order of about 120 to 130 gate-to-gate shear heading towards Riverside. So that tornado warning is observed. And I want you guys to keep in mind, they reserve this wording, tornado emergency, for the worst case scenarios. They simply don't throw that. They simply don't throw that word around. And so now that we've got this, again, making its way into a major metropolitan area, they're just being, you can't exercise enough caution. That is a debris ball signature that you're seeing there. You see the green upside down triangle. That is the tornado. That's a TVS. It's a tornadic vortex signature to the north of it, near North Ridge. That is a debris ball. And I'm going to throw on a marker on here just to verify. And I'm going to go over to what we call correlation coefficient to see if we can verify this with a TVS. And if we do, it's a done deal. And there it is. There appears to be a TVS that does line up with this. Again, in the middle of that debris ball, we've got this area that would suggest that we've got large debris that's elevated, it's lofted, and the radar is picking up the debris. So this is a no doubter. Not only do we have trained eyes that are confirming that a large, potentially dangerous tornado is on the ground, but the radar signature is also one that supports that, that says, yes, not only is it on the ground, but we're picking up debris. It could be trees, it could be houses that are flung into the air. So we have to go with the assumption that this is large, it's violent. Where is it going? So let's bring up some of the locations that are going to be downwind. Riverside, again, the tornado is heading towards you. Fairborn, Huber Heights. I want you guys to be in your tornado shelter. Hopefully, if you're in central Dayton, you've already taken your precautions. Hopefully, you've gotten this information on here. I'm briefly checking on. I don't have a moderator right now on YouTube. If you'd like to volunteer to be a moderator and you know me, let me know. I will be sure to hook you up. Again, I've got to know you though. If I don't know you, don't ask to be a moderator. As we're tracking this, what appears to be a violent tornado into portions of Metro Dayton. This is a large city, and you know, if this turns out to be as bad as it looks like it might be, there is certainly loss of life here. And what we want to do is minimize that loss of life any way that we possibly can. So, tornado emergency has been declared for the city of Dayton, for Montgomery County. I'm going to go back over to our other radar source here briefly, so you guys can get another vantage point. But boy, that's a nasty looking signature. There it is. That's the tornado emergency. That's that purple pink shaded area that's getting all of your attention on this map. Tornado emergency has been declared, and it does go towards Xenia. Xenia, of course, famously hit by a massive F5 on April 3rd, 1974. The last thing, that was a daytime tornado where there were still massive loss of life with that. Hopefully we don't see anything like that. But that's what it looks like. We have a real problem on our hands here this evening. That tornado emergency from Dayton to Xenia. And so the new warning information is coming in now. I'll go back over to our analyst radar, then we'll put a track on the storm for you. So analyst doing a great job. Again, the left-hand panel, that's the actual signature of the storm. The reflectivity, if you will, clear with a debris ball signature north of Dayton right now. Downtown Dayton, if this is correct, you were spared. Downtown was spared, but you go a short distance to the north. Northridge may have been absolutely clobbered. Okay, so we're getting the report of a tornado. This is 3 miles north of downtown Dayton, coming in off of amateur radio. They're calling this a large tornado on the ground, seen to the north. Getting the new velocity data in here, and you know, it makes my heart sink to see these numbers that I'm looking at right now. But I'm looking at 75 mile per hour one way, about 55 the other way. Quick math on that puts that at about 130 mile per hour gate to gate shear. Wilmington comes in, says the tornado warning observed on the ground, considerable damage, considerable threat. Extreme, they're saying confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located just northwest of Beaver Creek, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Like I said, guys, I'm not here to have fun. I'm not back on here again tonight because this is some sort of entertainment. I'd rather go to bed right now, but you know what? There's no way I can do that in good conscience, not knowing good and well that these areas downwind of near Dayton, Riverside, this is a bad setup. We were watching tornadoes last week approaching the Joplin area on the 8th anniversary of the 2011 Joplin tornado that took 158 lives. That was a bad tornado, but that was in the middle of the day, and everybody was paying attention. This is at the end of a long holiday weekend. A lot of people may not be paying attention at all. And this may be their only way of becoming alert. Again, you can't rely on outdoor sirens for a storm like this. People may be in bed, they may be asleep, they may need some sort of notification, and this may be one way of reaching them. So keep the shares coming. We've got about 400 people on here right now live on this YouTube stream, streaming a tornado emergency that's in effect for Montgomery County. I'm on a chat with the National Weather Service with their latest information that's in front of me. This is coming in just now. An emergency manager reports that's at 10:30, so this was a little earlier. Houses severely damaged on County Road 33A in Kettlersville. This storm has only gotten stronger since that occurred, somewhere about 45 minutes ago. This is a tornado that has been on the ground for a while, and it has only strengthened. Let's go back in time, and then we'll go back to where it is right now. You can see it's got that classic hook shape to it. As it approached the Dayton area, Montgomery County, that's when they issued the tornado emergency. We're still going back in time. This tornado first touched down near Lewisburg, very close to Lewisburg, and that was somewhere around, let me get my time, somewhere around 10:30. So that's where these reports initially came in from. The storm has been strengthening since as it's diving to the east and south. It's what we call a right mover. It's a right mover. It's chasing moisture. And as it does so, the storm presents a real problem for our friends out there in Riverside. That's where it's located right now. Right on top of Riverside. It shows no sign of weakening. Thunderstorm that's capable of producing a tornado was located near Mount Sterling, moving east at 20 miles per hour. That is an awful looking signature. Looking at a guaranteed debris ball, and that debris ball located very close to Page Manor. Now it's just off to the east of Riverside, making steady progress. A lot of people live in this area. This is a heavily populated area. I'm looking at winds, 85 mile per hour right now away from the radar site. And then directly adjacent to that, I've got 70 mile per hour winds towards the radar site. That is 155 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear. And this storm is being sampled at only 1,500 feet. This is a no-doubter. It's on the ground, and this is really bad news for somebody. Let me put a marker on this, and I just want to just double check. We'll look at CC, what we saw, correlation coefficient. There is a no doubt what we call a TDS, or a tornadic debris signature, that verifies that this thing is doing damage. It's lofting debris. The radar can see the debris that's up in the air. So I know it's night, and you know, at times it's difficult to discern what's going on. We know what's going on. This is destruction. This is bad news for anybody that's in this area. Now look who's next. That's Xenia, Ohio. If you've got friends in Xenia, you reach out to them now. I don't care if it's 11:20 at night. You call them, you text them, you blow up all their social medias. You wake up that town. Xenia, Ohio has not been visited by a violent tornado since April 3rd, 1974. And that was an iconic tornado. That one occurred during the day when people could see it. This one's at night, and people are likely in bed, and they're likely unaware. Xenia, Ohio, blow them up. I mean, get a hold of them. And the new data is coming in, guys. This is not good. I mean, I want to tell you that I've got good news and just go to bed, but I can't tell you that. I've never seen radar scope show 10,000 plus for a TDS. That thing is serious, and that's coming in from Crystal Bull. Yes, it is extremely serious. This is a violent tornado that, you know, there was a risk of severe weather tonight. I was tracking tornadoes earlier tonight near Chicago, near Fort Wayne, near South Bend. This is of a different level. This is so much higher than anything that we saw earlier. And this is how, and I hate to say this, if you're not underground, you're not safe. If you're not underground, Xenia, get to a basement. You've still got time. If you don't have a basement, you head away from the storm. You head east. You drop southeast. You get in your car and you go now. Okay? You hear me? Xenia, I'm talking to you. If you don't have a basement, if you're not underground, get underground. This could be life-saving information that I'm passing along to you right now. Guys, it's been a long weekend. This is the last thing that I want to be doing right now. But there's no way I cannot be giving this information. I just happened to catch it at the end of our live show. We do a nightly live show on my Facebook page called Weather Live at 9:45. I just started this YouTube channel a week and a half ago. And I'm glad I'm on here because somebody needs this information. Beaver Creek, that storm is on top of you now. It's getting so close to Xenia, south of Fairborn. That's Yellow Spring. Wilberforce is a town that's going to be in the path of this. I'm afraid Xenia is going to take almost a direct hit if it doesn't change course. Again, it's dropping to the east and southeast. That's exactly where Xenia is located. I'm going to pan out, put this into motion for you guys, let you guys see the larger picture. There were tornado warnings to the north. There are still tornado warnings to the north. I don't care about them. This is a large, violent tornado that's been confirmed, and it's heading towards, again, another major metropolitan area. It went through northern Dayton. We've got confirmation it was on the ground doing damage. North side of Dayton. Now this thing's dropping southeast. And what is that highway? That highway between Dayton and Xenia, because that's kind of the path that it's following. Nobody wants to be in its line right now. And I'm going to pull up a map of Ohio and try to get that information to you. But this is as dangerous a situation as you will see. It's nighttime tornadoes are always a different animal. They're always worse at night. That is Highway 70. Okay, so between Dayton and Xenia, and I'm pulling it up right now in real time here. Oh, gosh. That's Highway 35. So this storm is tracking right along and just to the north of Highway 35, right on into Xenia. It's showing excellent structure. This thing is probably rain wrapped to some degree. Debris, that's a massive debris ball. Massive. This thing is probably a mile wide. I would say a mile plus. The debris ball, I think, is more like 2 miles across. So the actual tornado that's on the ground could be extremely large. Extremely dangerous. We've got 706 people live on YouTube. Thank you for being here, and thank you for hitting that share button. Let's get this word out to as many people as we possibly can. Again, this isn't, I wouldn't be on here if it was just a little weak something, a little bump in the night. This could level homes. And it's going through, again, a rather populated metropolitan area. This is a tornado emergency that was declared. And so this is the highest level of threat that the National Weather Service has. It's the highest level of warning that they can possibly give out, and they cannot stress this enough. 750 people. Keep the shares coming. Okay, so let's come on back into our other radar. I just want to kind of give you from a second vantage point that radar signature is awful. Guys, I've been a professional meteorologist for over 20 years. I've worked in Texas, I've worked in Kansas, I've worked in Mississippi, the Ohio River Valley. This is as bad a signature as I've seen, especially one at night. This is the real deal, folks. So there it is, that tornado emergency declared for Dayton. Now the tornado making its way into northern or into Xenia. It's making its way into the metropolitan area now. More tornadoes possibly occurring to the north, but the one that we're concerned with is the radar indicated tornado warning for Miami and Montgomery counties. Thunderstorm that was located near Inglewood, moving towards the southeast. It's dropping southeast now at 35 miles per hour. There are other storms, I'll at least mention them. Tornado warning storms, one south of Columbus right now. I don't have the county currently. Another one approaching Delaware. Another one up towards Kenton. Those storms, they have potential, but the one that we're most concerned with is the one right here on the south side. Again, it's showing a tremendous amount of rotation with that. With it, latest radar information coming in from Analyst Radar, and we've got that TDS that we know that is associated with this. We've got this very, very tight couplet. The rotation here is somewhere in the order, and I'm pulling in the numbers as we speak. They're at the bottom, where I can see we've got a 70 right next to a 50. This is a 120 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear. This is a large, dangerous storm, violent. It's been confirmed. National Weather Service says that they're going to go ahead and cancel Montgomery County because it's moving out of Montgomery County. That's where Dayton is. But it does continue for northwestern Greene County. Again, large tornado for Greene County. And let me get the locations there. Was located near Beaver Creek, moving east at 35. And again, I'm taking as much information as I possibly can, as fast as I can, getting this over to you. That's Fairborn, that's Xenia, Yellow Springs. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is in line for this massive tornado. Cedarville, Wilberforce, as mentioned, Clifton, Old Town, John Bryan State Park, and that's the Greene County Airport. Trebine is another town that's in the path of this. Looking at that new sweep on radar, that is a bad signature, my friends. Very, very bad. That tornado located right about here. I'm going to place a marker. I'm going to go over to our CC correlation coefficient, where we are still seeing what is likely debris that's being picked up by the radar. So there is a TDS that appears to still be corresponding with the location of that tornado. It likely is rain wrapped. On top of it being night and you can't really see what's going on, it's going to be shrouded by rain. And so by the time that you hear the rain falling, it's too late. It'll be on top of you. So we need to take shelter. We need to take action right now. Tornado again observed. National Weather Service says now this is now for Clark, Fayette, Greene, Madison counties. A tornado producing storm was located 5 miles north of Xenia, moving east at 35 miles per hour. And so on that track, it's going to come so close to the town of Xenia, passing just to the north. And you can see if we put the latest numbers on here, it is, and I'm not sure where that north-south highway is, but it's about to cross it. Let me pull it up. Coming out of Xenia, that's Highway 68. It is approaching Highway 68 just north of Xenia. So Wilberforce, Cedarville, you're next, heading generally speaking towards Jamestown and Selma. I hope that it missed the bulk of the residential areas associated with Xenia, but if you're familiar with that area, I know it's populated. And again, being the fact that it's 11:30 at night, a lot of people may generally just be unaware. That's why this is so important that you guys are on here sharing this video, helping to get the word out. That's right, Jack Allen talking about, you know what, if you're home, look, this is the type of storm that if you have time, you just want to make sure you're underground, okay? We don't want to take chances with a storm like this. If you're in its path and you have time and you don't have a basement, head south. Just head south or southeast, move away from the storm, let it pass, and hopefully you have a home to come back to. But this is the type of storm that I don't recommend that you stay in your home if you're in that direct path, because from all indications that we have, this is large and it's violent, and if you're not below ground, it may not be good enough. Now, if it's on top of you, you do what you have to do. You shelter in place, you go to the lowest floor of your home, you go into the interior portion of your home, maybe a hallway closet, maybe a hallway bathroom. You may want to bring some cushions, some pillows, a mattress, some blankets. Cover your neck and head. That's the most vulnerable place in the human body. You want to cover your neck and head. Make sure, again, you're providing yourself the best opportunity as possible. So you can see the location. They've extended the warning to go further southeast. It does cover Jamestown, Cedarville, Selma, South Salon, eventually out towards Jeffersonville. If it holds together, we hope it does not. As mentioned, there are other tornado warnings that are out there as well. I'll just mention them. One just off to the north and west of this storm. I believe this storm is going to steal the energy from that one. But it is in effect for, let me get that up for you. Northwestern Montgomery, southwestern Miami counties. This goes until 11:45, another 15 minutes. I think that one does not look nearly as threatening as the one that we're talking to you about right now. There is another tornado warning that's in effect north of Circleville. Again, the information that I've got suggests that it's not nearly as strong. Southeastern Franklin, west central Fairfield, northern Pickaway County. That's south of Columbus, where we're again looking at rotation. Looking at tornado warnings, but we're just not seeing anything nearly as impressive as what's occurring near Xenia, Ohio right now. Zoom on in here. If you are to the west of Mount Victory, there is a rotation, a tornado warning for Mount Victory, Ridgeway, Kenton, Ohio. That goes until, let me get the time up here. That goes until midnight. That is for southern Hardin County and west central Ohio. So a number of tornado warnings. The one that I am by far and large concerned about the most is the one that's located very close to Xenia. We're getting the new radar information in, and that's just a very, very ugly signature. Very, very ugly signature. Let's go back one, and I don't know if you can verify this, but this would be somewhere in the order. And we were still looking at 150 potentially. Here's the new image. Okay, well, this is a little more broad, a little more diffuse, but not by much. So we've got about 60 mile per hour one way, you go to the other way another 50, so it's about 110 mile per hour gate to gate, not gate to gate, that's effective shear. Certainly more than enough to keep this thing viable for a while as it dives to the east and south. Getting hail reports of golf ball sized hail coming in from Yellow Springs, that's in Greene County. Tornado warning does continue for Montgomery. Indication for continues the tornado warning for Montgomery County. That's for the other storm that's beginning to come in behind this. So again, a family of tornadoes perhaps at this hour tonight. A tornado emergency was declared for northern portions of Dayton just a little while earlier. That's what caught my attention. That's why I got on here. All right, so while we continue to watch and the suspense continues to build, I want to thank you guys for being here. This is a channel that's dedicated to live severe weather coverage for high-end events. I'm not going to be on here for, a dust devil. We're on here for high-end events. I'm a 20-year veteran of broadcast meteorology. I've got my American Meteorological Society seal of approval. I'm a certified broadcast meteorologist. I've worked in Texas, I've worked in Kansas, Mississippi, the Ohio River Valley for a number of years, and across portions of the Great Lakes. If you like the content I'm providing, hit the subscribe and ring the bell for the notification. We'll be sure to get you notified the next time that we have, again, the possibility of life-threatening weather or a life-threatening emergency, and you guys can help be part of the process. Because it's all about communication when it comes to these storms. You think back to what happened in Joplin in 2011. We didn't communicate it effectively enough. The threat that was there. That was a daytime storm. That killed 158 people on May 22nd, 2011. This is a nighttime storm. You take a storm anywhere near the magnitude of the one that you had in Joplin back 8 years ago, and you throw that on top of a major metropolitan area at night, especially after a long holiday weekend, many people may just be out of it. Again, you've got to get their attention, and so that's part of the purpose of this program. So if you guys don't mind subscribing, notify, and share away. This is still a viable threat for many portions of southwest Ohio. I'm hoping that the signature that I'm seeing on radar will suggest that maybe it's coming down a bit. It's not quite as strong as it was about 5 or 10 minutes ago. Hopefully, fingers crossed, prayers, please. But right now we've still got quite a threat, so we're going to continue to monitor as the storm makes its way towards Cedarville, getting very close to the town of Cedarville right now. It's near Wilberforce. Again, we're hoping that we can avoid a worst case scenario such as a Joplin type of event, but being a nighttime tornado, I'm always a little bit more sensitive. Okay, new tornado warning issued just now. That's for Delaware and Licking counties in Ohio. That's for a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Again, we've got a number of warnings out there. I'm going to take you over to our other radar unit. Large dangerous storm making its way just north of Xenia right now. That's the one with the current warning, but it's not the only one. We go to the north and you've got all these embedded rotating thunderstorms. These are supercell thunderstorms that are embedded in a large area of thunderstorm activity. That new warning, you can see it's flashing on the middle of your screen. This one's popping for northern, just north of Columbus. So Columbus, you're kind of threading the needle right now. A tornado warning to the south. You've got a tornado warning to the north. Let's hope that Columbus can avoid the type of drama that Dayton and Xenia has been seeing here. Again, with the most, in my mind, in my opinion, the most dangerous of these storms, it's still the one to the south. We have to watch that one out there that is approaching Lancaster. That looks like it may be developing. It may be getting a little better organized. So that's on top of Asheville. Also a tornado warning for you. This entire area continues underneath that tornado watch, and I don't have the watch information in front of me. Just know that the conditions are there. Obviously, a number of tornadoes. I started broadcasting earlier today at about 3:30 p.m. Eastern Central. About 3 o'clock Eastern, I should say. And it was in the Chicago area earlier, producing possible touchdowns in Chicago proper. Just south of town, they started dropping out of these storms. And then tornado warnings were issued for Valparaiso, Maryville, South Bend, and now these storms continue to march on into the lower Ohio River Valley, where right now we're looking at those tornado warnings, a tornado emergency just a little while earlier for Dayton, Ohio. That is a big Midwestern town. hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people possibly in line with where this tornado is and has been. So that's why we're on here. We continue to get the word out. Again, we've got nasty, nasty conditions. We've got 1,000 people live on YouTube. Thank you for being here. Be sure to keep the shares coming. We're trying to wake anybody up that may have nodded off to let them know that we've got dangerous, if not violent, tornadoes moving through southwestern sections of Ohio right now. So let's get to the latest warning information. Again, thank you for being here, and thanks for being a part of the process. You know, you never know when you're the person that's going to make the difference. But there's the latest on the warning information that you're seeing. There's not one, but 2 tornadoes now. And the one is winding down. The one looks better near Cedarville. This is located just off to the east and north of Xenia. Xenia may have dodged a bullet. But the other one now suddenly is becoming better organized. A new tornado warning for Dayton. Dayton, they just issued the tornado emergency. When I came on, when did I come on? Right around 11 o'clock. So a tornado warning was issued for Dayton. That storm moved on the north side of Dayton, and now a new tornado, possible tornado, is dropping right back in. Again, this is a major metropolitan area, southwestern Ohio. I don't remember what the population of Dayton is, but I know it's got to be a couple 100,000. And now Dayton seems to be the centerpiece for the next round. Dayton, 140,000, that's in the actual city limits. Of course, you got many more people outside of that once you get yourself into the suburbs. So you're talking about a lot of people that are in line for this storm. Again, if someone is interested in being a moderator, if I know you, flag me. I need some help managing the feed tonight. I don't have, I'm not sure if, is Jack Allen in the house? There's Jerry Edwards. He's moderating. That's good. Thanks, Jerry, for being on here. Reynoldsburg has a tornado watch until 2 a.m. according to the National Weather Service. So the entire area is being watched for tornadoes. Again, I don't, you know, this isn't fun. This is not my way of winding down a holiday weekend. I would much rather be curled up on the couch with my wife, but you know, duty calls right now. I've already performed over 4 hours of live broadcast work today, getting out warnings earlier today, as mentioned, from the storms that were falling, you know, were forming near Chicago, just south of Chicago, northern Indiana, Valparaiso, South Bend. All were under warnings earlier today, and now this. The scariest type of a scenario where you have potentially violent tornadoes at night when people just simply are unaware. Now, they are releasing new information on the Dayton tornado, and they're saying it is confirmed. It's on the ground. It's destroying things. At 11:38, 2 minutes ago, a confirmed tornado was located over Vandalia, moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. They're describing this as a damaging tornado, that it has been confirmed. Flying debris, for anybody that's caught without sturdy shelter, is going to be the main threat. If you live in a mobile home, you got to get out. You got to leave. Okay? As I always say, if your home has wheels, you got to go. You just can't stay there. That's Huber Heights. This appears to be another debris ball. Another debris ball. What is a debris ball, you may ask? Well, that's associated with a hook echo. That's literally the reflection of debris up in the air. It appears to be rain or thunderstorms, maybe hail. It's actually trees. It's parts of houses, homes, if not parts of cars. Whatever the tornado can flip up into the air, into the radar beam. And so that's what the radar sees. Tornado watch does continue until 2 a.m. for the entire area. I'm seeing, again, on velocity here, just to the east of Huber Heights. Guys, if you're in Huber Heights, you got to go downstairs now. I'm looking back over to see if we do have that TDS. We do. There's a clear TDS. That's a tornadic debris signature. So not only do we have eyes in the ground that says this thing's on the ground, but now we have the radar reflection that says, yep, it's throwing debris up in the air. This is likely a violent tornado. We've got 1,100 people on YouTube right now. You guys can still help us to get the word out that we're on here. If you haven't shared the video, please do so. This is live breaking weather across southwest Ohio, where the potential is there for destructive nighttime tornadoes. These are the ones, again, to me, these are always the worst time, especially coming after a long holiday weekend. A lot of people might be checked out. They might just be unaware that there are the potential of violent tornadoes. And we know it's not just potential. These things are occurring. They are on the ground. Now, another confirmed tornado warning just issued. So this is going to be for Jamestown. That is the lead cell, the one that went through North Dayton first. All right, let's get the information out. Again, Mother Nature is not slowing down. Tornado warning in effect. That's for Cedarville. Let me get the new one. It's in front of me now. Tornado warning remains in effect for northwestern Fayette, south central Clark, eastern Greene, southwestern Madison counties. A tornado expected with hail to 2 inches. That's just insult to injury. And we are seeing again those bright velocity signatures where you've got the inbounds and you've got the outbounds. That just shows me that thing is spinning like a top. And that's exactly what you don't want to see. We've got twin supercells. The other one located again near Huber Heights, where you've got that what appears to be a debris ball. That's where you do have likely debris that's being lofted up in the air. And I'm going to see if I can't get my telestrator to work for you. Hopefully we can. I'm pulling that up now. The TDS also associated with that debris ball. TDS stands for Tornadic Debris Signature. Basically, it's when the radar says, and you can line up the velocity signatures with that TDS. That's basically getting a guarantee from the radar source that this is occurring. So not only do we have eyes on the ground that says it's occurring, but we also have all the radar information that we would need to determine that there is a tornado on the ground, throwing debris up in the air, possibly destructive. And then there's the actual debris ball. You hear meteorologists refer to a debris ball. That just means that this is associated with a supercell thunderstorm more likely than not. And also that those are the strongest type storms. Those are the ones that can produce the big boy tornadoes, the violent outbreaks, and unfortunately that's exactly what we're seeing here tonight across southwestern sections of Ohio. We've got almost 1,200 people on here. I want to thank you for coming on to our channel and helping with the warning process. If you know people in this area, wake them up. Say, look, we need to wait till this threat passes before we go to bed. Some of these people need to be in shelters now. Some of these people need to be below ground. And I'll tell you exactly who I think should be below ground. Huber Heights. Guys, you need to be in the interior portion of your home. If you don't have a basement, you don't have time to leave because the storm is on top of you. Again, that signature, it's not a good one. Here's your NROD. This is normalized rotation right on top of Huber Heights. I can show you that here. So let's see if I line that up correctly. That's where that normalized rotation is. Normalized rotation. It's computer algorithm that says we're the most likely case that there is a tornado on the ground. So let's put it right over that area. Where is this storm going? Again, this is the second in line of some nasty supercells dropping tornadoes into parts of the Dayton area. They've got Dayton technically under the warning, but the storm looks like it's going to pass safely to your north, but not safe enough for Fairborn, maybe Riverside. You guys are going to be impacted by the storm. I'm looking back over again velocity scans. It's a pretty nasty couplet. A lot of colors on here. So there's a secondary storm again with confirmed tornado warning just north of Jamestown as well. So we're watching both of these. Nighttime tornadoes. That's not what you want to see. It's not fun. We've got 1,196 people on here right now. Thanks for coming on over. If you haven't done so, this channel is dedicated for high-end severe events. We cover it live. I'm a broadcast veteran of over 20 years. I've got forecasting experience from Texas and Kansas, Mississippi, the Ohio River Valley, the Great Lakes, and now I'm here to serve you on YouTube. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and the notification bell so that you guys know next time that I'm on live again covering possible life-threatening events. And that's exactly what this is. I don't want to downplay it. I'm not mincing my words. I'm not one to hype weather. Okay, I've always tried to play it safe. I've always tried to run it right down the middle. You get a lot of sensationalism through various social medias. That's why I welcome you to come here. This is a no hype zone. I try to say it like I see it. I call it like I see it. And what I see right now is a very, very dangerous situation setting up again across southwest Ohio. We've got 1,250 people on live. Thank you for that. Is Dayton, Ohio safe? That's coming in from Cupid. And I'm going to say that Dayton, Ohio is looking better. You're not safe because you're still under the tornado warning, but the actual immediate circulation is passing to your north and northeast right now. So I think things are looking better for central Dayton. Certainly if you live south of Dayton, looking better. But Fairborn, Huber Heights, that's where you've got that circulation moving in right now. The other storm appears to be cycling back up. Again, this is another supercell thunderstorm. It's the one that they issued the tornado emergency for earlier for North Dayton. This storm continues to produce rotation. And I've just got to sit back and watch this for a minute. Again, Centerville is the question mark. I want to see if I can get my wife to bring me some water too. I don't know if she's still up. A lot of activity on tonight. Again, I started tracking tornadoes at about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Been on the air for broadcast, I should say, not on the air. 4 going on 5 hours. Between the storms earlier today from Chicago, I was tracking across northern Indiana, but this is by far and large more dangerous than anything that I saw earlier today, and that was moving across some fairly populated areas, and there was confirmed damage associated with that. I want to bounce back over from the Xenia storm, and they've extended that tornado warning to the Jamestown storm, where they're saying, look, this thing is really showing a lot of organization. It's probably going to stay together. So they've extended the warning now, and let me bring up the verbiage. I'm going to open up this door. Stay here. I'm going to roll on the radar. I'm just going to try to bring some cool air in here. All right, I had to open up the door. Hopefully I'm not keeping the rest of the family up. But again, I've got to stay with this. This is very, very bad situation developing. It's very hot in here. Nasty, nasty looking supercell thunderstorm. And there's 2 of them. And you've been watching them as they've been developing here on the radar. This is analyst radar. Watching them as they're diving southeast. And potentially producing all types of problems. For areas near Jamestown right now, that storm is cycling up. And so they put out advanced notice on this. I'm going to take you over to primary panel. And that's just a nasty, nasty looking signature. New warning includes Fayette County, southern Madison County, and central Ohio goes until 12:30. You know, radar indicated tornado at this point for that part of the area. It was confirmed. Thank you. That's my wife, aka Lisa Ray. You probably know her from the Facebook channel. Also up here, just trying to keep people informed. Another busy, busy night. I can't emphasize the danger enough with this particular setup tonight. Not one, but you got twins. Supercell thunderstorms moving through portions of southeast Ohio. I want to analyze, and we've got a number of tools that we use to analyze the threats associated with these storms. This is one. We can look at it actually in the 3rd dimension. I'm going to bring that up for you. You're looking at a 3-dimensional representation, again, of a nasty, nasty supercell thunderstorm making its way towards Cedarville. This is just off to the east of Xenia now. And what we're looking for are those higher reflectivity values. This storm is peaking out over 50,000 feet. Those vaulted cores, there's a lot of hail associated with this. We had reports of greater than golf balls, so not only is this a tornado producer, it's also producing damaging hail, likely damaging wind. That's outside of any tornado. This is a look at normalized rotation. And again, this is a 3-dimensional visualization of the storm, showing that we've got just a ton of rotation up and down the three-dimensional volume scan that we're able to show you there. like to take some real-time comments with you guys, and I've been trying to keep up. And again, thanking my wife for allowing me to stay on and stay late with you guys tonight. So tornado warning again. Mature supercells interacting with just a ton of energy in the atmosphere tonight, producing potentially very, very dangerous conditions. I'm going to go back on over to our 2 panel, and again we're looking at updated velocity scan. That's on your right. That's velocity. And let me read you some numbers here. 87 miles per hour, moving away from the radar site. And that's coupled with a 70 mile per hour, 65 mile per hour towards the radar site. We've got gate-to-gate shear. My goodness. 150 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear again. This thing is wrapped back up. That's likely a violent tornado on the ground. Let me place a marker, double check, and yeah, there appears to be a TDS associated with this, or a tornadic debris signature, wrapping in. So we're getting further confirmation that this is on the ground doing damage. Radar indicated, but it's happening. This is what we're observing. And guys, I mean, I honestly, this is, you know, it's gut-wrenching to watch, because you know that when you see that it's likely doing destruction, and you see these towns that are in the way. You know, I'm just afraid that when the news occurs, you know, tomorrow, and they've been able to assess, I'm afraid that we're going to get some bad news out of this area tonight. Very bad news. We've got 1,200 people on here right now. Thank you for being here. My name's Jeremy Kappell. I'm a broadcast veteran of 20 years. I've got specialties in severe weather tracking. I've covered severe weather in Texas and Kansas, Mississippi, the Ohio River Valley, the Great Lakes. Hit this channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification for the next time. We just launched the channel a week and a half ago, and for the purpose of covering high-end severe weather events through social media, particularly this YouTube channel. We don't hype. Again, all I'm trying to do is level the playing field. There's a lot of people that do social media, and it's a hobby, and they don't really know the meteorology, and so they like to use sensationalism, hyperbole, to draw eyeballs. But you know what? The whole cry wolf syndrome, you do that long enough and people will begin to tune out. I don't want you tuning out tonight. I want you helping getting the word out that we're on here. I've got Rye on here. Breaking large destructive tornado reported near Dayton as severe storms slam Ohio. That's Rye, Alan Ulrey. Crystal Bull on here. How do you think this compares to the tornado emergencies from the past weeks? Oronogo and Leech. I would say that this is comparable to what we saw in the Oronogo storm, Golden City, where 3 people were killed tragically. I was on with that one as well, and this one has 150 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear right now. I've seen it as high as 170 tonight. That is as strong or stronger than what we saw last week, again across portions of southwest Missouri. That storm came pretty close to Joplin, fortunately passed to the north on the anniversary of the worst tornado disaster in modern history. Of course, I'm talking about May 22nd of 2011, when Joplin was devastated by a mile-wide EF5 that killed 158 people. I don't anticipate that we'll have something that bad, and God, you know, heaven forbid we see something like that. But that's the reason I'm on here, is because these are the type of tornadoes that can cause that level of devastation, especially if people are unaware. You know, keep in mind, Joplin happened in the middle of the day. Had good warning, 30-minute lead time, most areas. This is the middle of the night, and so this makes this a different type of an animal. So I'm watching the trends. What I would love to have is some good news for you. You know, all we know is that we've got 2 dangerous storms. Not 1, but 2. I will say that the latest velocity scan came in a little bit lower. That would be great. Weather Service is going to expire the tornado warning for green in Montgomery counties. National Weather Service at the says that the radar confirms a tornado in far eastern Greene County near Jamestown, and that's just what we pointed out to you, that we had a TDS. That is how a radar can confirm that. It's through a TDS, or a tornadic debris signature. This is where it was confirmed. And again, we measured it at the time that it was going just north of Jamestown. We put down the marker. We measured 150 mile per hour gate to gate shear. And then we went over and we did our CC scan, which showed a definite TDS, or tornadic debris signature. Basically, the radar says there's debris up in the air and we can measure that. You don't get debris up in the air vaulted at a couple thousand feet if you don't have a major tornado on the ground. So that's how they know. That's radar confirmation. So that's why this is a confirmed tornado on the ground. I'm going to take you to the other radar source and take a broader view. Again, it's just bad news across Ohio tonight. Tornado watch in the yellow area. Columbus appears to, well, tornado warning issue for Columbus. These are rain-wrapped nighttime tornadoes. Definitely not what you want to see. I'm going to take you guys up to Columbus now. Again, tornado warning was just issued. I don't know what that storm looks like, but there is a circulation near downtown. Rain wrapped. I'm hoping this is lower end. So tornado warning for Whitehall, Kahana, New Albany, Reynoldsburg, Bryce. It looks like you're just in the south, just south of that tornado warning. Another tornado warning to the north. Again, several counties under warnings. I'm not going to spend too much time on these storms in central Ohio. I'm not saying there's not a threat for Columbus, because there obviously is. That's the reason why the Weather Service does have a tornado warning for Columbus. But we're not getting indicators out of Columbus like we are down here for Jamestown. So let's zoom on in. The most dangerous storm, and this is a dangerous storm, located near Jeffersonville, just to the north of Jeffersonville, South Salon, Midway. You're in line to get this next. I want you guys taking every precaution possible. Taking a look at the other storm behind it, still producing lots of rotation. And this storm's going to cross just north of Xenia. And so it's the same area that we saw storms roll through earlier. You can watch all this as it's been evolving in time. That was a very close miss for Xenia. 2 times tonight for Xenia, a close miss. Just to the north, which is great. I believe that's Highway 35. It's going just north of Highway 35. Streetwise, hi, I'm from Dayton. Tell me what you're seeing. I've got Jerry Edwards moderating. I see Jack Allen on here moderating. Just kind of getting the word of what this program is all about, what I'm observing. Hopefully they're helping you guys with any questions you guys may have. Earlier this evening, a tornado emergency was issued for Dayton, Montgomery County. That is the highest level of wording that you will see issued by the National Weather Service. This is issued out of the Weather Service in Wilmington. They continue with not 1 but 2 confirmed tornado warnings that remain in effect right now. And radar indications that we still got some very healthy storms. So again, we appreciate you guys helping to get the word out. The shares of this video is tremendous. You never know when you're going to save a life. And that's the type of information that we are providing here, potentially life-saving information. You know, last week we were on, I believe it was Wednesday night, covering the tornadoes across southwest Missouri, and we were urging people to get underground for the town of Golden City. We said, look, it's not good to seek shelter. We said, get underground. and unfortunately 3 people did not, and they died. Had we gotten this information out maybe to a larger audience, maybe, who knows, maybe that could have been avoided. Especially with these nighttime tornadoes, it makes it so difficult, so scary, coming after a long weekend where a lot of people are just kind of wiped out. They're getting ready for the work week. They may just be in bed. They probably went to bed an hour or two ago. So these are the people that we have to try hardest to get back a hold of. All right, we're going back over to our other radar unit. And I'm going to take off the watch information. Give me a moment on that. And I want to put a track on that most dangerous storm. So now we're looking at only radar and warning information. Okay, and south of the line, you can see where that, it's a very, very evident. Let me zoom in a little bit here. It's very clear where we've got that area of rotation, so let's put a best track on this. Okay, so that's a track. It's going to take it, looks like it's just north of Jeffersonville right now. It's dropping off to the east and southeast at 35 miles per hour. We'll say 40 just in case we're wrong. And you can see the locations, where it will be, when it will be, along that storm track path line. Panning out again. Watch. It's been a busy night. It's been a busy day, and this is not exactly how I wanted to end my day. But there's no way I could ignore what the radar was showing me. At about the time the Weather Service decided to issue a tornado emergency earlier. All right, coming in from Wilmington, tornado warning does continue for Fayette and Madison County until 12:30. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 2 miles north of Jeffersonville, moving east at 45 miles per hour. So these storms are gaining speed as well. And then they're also continuing the tornado warning radar indicated for Clark and Greene counties. The tornado was located near Yellow Springs, also dropping southeast at 45. I am curious as to what the environment's doing. And as a meteorologist, you need to keep one eye on the radar and to keep eye to the media. So I'm listening to what the National Weather Service is showing me. Anything that I can get from social media, I'm trying to keep an eye on. But another thing you want to keep an eye on, especially in a situation like this, is the environment. You got to know what the environment's capable of. So I'm going to pull up some information coming in from the Storm Prediction Center to give us an idea if this is going to be a duration type of event. We know that a tornado watch remains in effect until 2 a.m. So I'm going to bring up some information. Actually, I'm just going to look at it. I'm not going to have you look at it. Give me a moment and I can provide that for you. Storm Prediction Center, what they have to say. You know, this area is actually moving out of the enhanced risk. It's technically in a slight risk. Obviously, this is higher than that. The convective risk issued multiple times per day. It was not expected to get this bad this time of the night, but you know what? That's Mother Nature for you. She sometimes likes to throw curveballs, and she did tonight. But that's why we're on here, is to, again, help warn anybody that may be out there. Okay, so we're looking at, as far as available energy in the atmosphere for these storms to work off of, we're still looking at 1,000 to 2,000 units of CAPE, which is down from where it was. That's good. And as I'm telling you this, I want to make sure that we keep our eye on the prize here. And so as far as wind shear, 45 to 50 knots, it's plenty of wind. We've got 3-kilometer helicity, which is 400 to 500. So there's plenty of wind energy. The limiting factor is the amount of instability. And so we want to get that down. And we will eventually. It just takes time. All right, new information coming in from the National Weather Service. Tornado warning That's for Licking, Ohio. That's a new tornado warning. And I can see that. Let's see if we'll pan out, see where that's located. That's one county east of Columbus, rotation near Pataskau. So that's southwestern Licking County in central Ohio. New tornado warning issued for you. The two most dangerous storms, as we continue to watch down here, still a lot of rotation with both of these supercells. Twin supercells, but I will say that their spin is not quite as hard. I will say that the environment looks like it should be cooling, which would be good. Great feed tonight, guys. Again, I appreciate you all being part of the warning process and helping me get the word out with your shares. Also, for future reference, this program, this channel, is utilized for high-end severe weather events such as we're having tonight. And for you to be alerted for the next event, be sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already, and the notification tab. That's how you will get the little alert coming in from YouTube that tells you that I'm on. But again, thank you for helping me become part of the process and getting the word out. Okay, so there's a picture of a tornado from Lewisburg earlier. Is east side of Dayton fine? Right now Dayton's okay. The warning has passed to the east, and if there's not another storm, I think you're done. That's not the official all clear. Technically you're under a watch until 2 a.m. But I think Dayton's okay. These storms, again, showing enough weakening that it's allowing me to feel better. But regardless, confirmed tornado warnings remain in effect. Jack Allen on here, talking about there is a confirmed tornado or radar indicated. You should still take shelter because you don't know when one will touch down. So you got to, you know, for the general tornado warnings that are out there right now, you just got to shelter in place, interior portion of the lowest level of your home. National Weather Service, two big supercells over Greene, Fayette, Madison counties have shown another slight weakening trend. That's what I was telling you. That's what the National Weather Service is seeing. Good. Probably no tornadoes on the ground as of this writing, and I'm going to agree with that. I hope so. Knock on wood. But still capable of producing more, so the warning will continue. These storms remain in a very favorable environment for additional tornado development and also remain capable of hail to around golf ball sized. So we said that there's a lot of wind shear. That remains favorable. We're waiting for the CAPE, the convective available potential energy, to drop. Prayers for Ohio, says Owen Zimmerman. Thank you for that, and indeed, we want to keep these people in our prayers tonight. Hopefully, we avoided a worst-case scenario, but you never like to see that. Nighttime tornadoes, and this is the worst type. Strong supercell thunderstorms, potentially producing, at times, violent tornadoes. The hope is that we're seeing a gradual weakening process with both of these two storms, although ultimately there are several tornado warnings that remain in effect across the state, including near Columbus and just due east of Columbus. Let me show you that on our other radar. You know, I mentioned it once, I'll mention it again. It's better to be safe than sorry. Earlier it looked like a just horrible situation developing. These tornadoes, again, are looking better, but you've got emergency crews that are on the way to these areas that have been affected. We're not going to know how bad it is until tomorrow morning. But it's just better to be safe, helping to get the word out. That's the best thing you guys can do, is to help work with us on that. And it looks like you guys have done a great job. That's the reason we've had the type of audience that we have had tonight, is because you guys are doing your job, getting the word out. The threat is still there, but it's better. It's not looking like it was 20, 30 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago. when it looked like we had one, if not two, multiple violent tornadoes on the ground. Now we're seeing, again, the warnings making their way into central portions of Ohio. The twin supercells still possibly doing business, but we know that it's come way down. Lancaster is chaos, says, is that Night Shine? Okay. Well, there is a warning for Lancaster, I know that. Any update from the Air Force Base? Again, unfortunately, because of the time of the night, I think a lot of this will probably end up waiting for morning, but I'll check to see the chatter on Twitter. Let me pull that up. Okay, and I'm seeing pictures on Twitter of the tornado damage. This looks like major residential areas impacted. This is coming in from Channel 7. It looks like bad news coming out of the Dayton area. Getting live picture. If I can, I might be able to bring up some images for you during this presentation. Again, it looks like a tornado, a destructive tornado touchdown in the Dayton area earlier. That's when a tornado emergency was issued. Since then, we've had more touchdowns, and we're trying to assess the damage. I can tell you initially what I'm seeing on Twitter is not good. I'm afraid, you know, the likelihood of the loss of life is high. I think it's very high. But you know what? We've done what we've been able to do. We've been able to help get the word out. And who knows? Maybe we help save a life tonight. The threat's not done. It's ongoing. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get some new images in here for you. You guys can check out while we're live. And let's see what we've got. I'm really working my equipment tonight. Yeah, here's the pictures coming in. This is sad. You don't like to see this. But you know, we are seeing live pictures now coming in. Before I show you the live pictures, I want to show you the latest tornado warnings. There's a new warning that was hit for Lancaster, as mentioned. Another tornado warning for Lancaster. We'll pull that up on the analyst radar. Tornado warning, Central Fairfield County, North Central Hocking County. That goes until 12:45. That's a pretty good circulation on top of Lancaster right now, unfortunately. I'm showing 76. It's broad rotation, but it's definitely rotating hard. Tornado warnings downwind of that primary supercell now. Northeastern Fayette, Pickaway County, southeastern Madison County, and north central Ross County. That goes until 1 a.m. Cedarville, you got a tornado warning for you. Rotation does appear to be down. That's good. But still, it remains for southwestern Clark and northeastern Greene counties. All types of circulations out there. So those are the latest warnings. Let me see if I can get you some pictures coming in from Twitter. Okay. This is damage as reported by Sean Cudahy near Bruns Avenue in Salina, Ohio. Virtually an entire neighborhood destroyed, as he is describing it here. Oh, that looks bad. This is a neighborhood that was very, very heavily damaged. Again, this is Salina, Ohio, or Salina, Ohio. Hard to show all homes in dark, but many look like this. And you know, that's bare. That's at least EF2, if not EF3 damage that I appear to be looking at there. We know that potential was there for some violent tornadoes, according to radar, according to the observations. This is coming in from Evan Millward. Look at the destruction here. North of Dayton and the town of Salina. Bad, bad news. And I believe that's Channel 7 there. That's doing the reporting tonight. That's the Dayton market. Video of a confirmed tornado. Let's check this out. Okay, what do you all see here? Do you all see it? Should be illuminated by lightning. This is northeast weather. There it is, sure enough. And I know the power flash is on the ground, illuminating the bottom of what appears to be a sizable tornado there on the ground. So this was earlier, just north of Dayton, when that tornado emergency was issued. You don't like to see that. Here's another one. This is from Brennan Brill. Oh, there it is. You can see the lightning easily illuminating that vortex. Let's wait for another flash. Yeah, you see that, what appears to be a cone. Watching near the beginning here, it's more visible. I'm going to bring that up. Look closer, right in the center of your screen. There it is. Looks like maybe a stovepipe tornado. Again, that was just north of Dayton a little while earlier. These are, again, images coming into social media right now. I'll continue to monitor that. Let's go back over to the latest warnings. Here's analyst radar, individual tornado warnings near Lancaster. Let me get the name of the county. Central Fairfield, North Central Hocking County. Tornado warning for you. And then the other ones down here where they're still confirmed. So locations here, and I'm trying to get the county information. It's Fayette in southern Madison counties. Tornado warning continues for you. Downstream, approaching Circleville, Asheville. That's northeastern Fayette, Pickaway County. Southeastern Madison. And north central Rose County. But you know, again, I want to pass along some hope. The hope is it doesn't look as bad as it did. The bad news is we have confirmation that these tornadoes did damage, and maybe a lot. Again, especially north of Dayton. All the little suburbs north of Dayton into the Xenia area, north of Xenia. There could be a lot of hard-hit areas. We know Salina particularly is hard-hit. I'm kind of scouring through the social media reports. Weather Service has suddenly gotten quiet. That can be good. Okay, so we got videos coming in from Indiana earlier. And wow, that looks like a Plains-style tornado. Where's that from? What part of Indiana? Sweetser, Indiana. That's earlier this evening. Nasty looking tornado. Let's go back over to our other radar unit. Putting everything into motion. Again, I believe that the worst is over, but I also believe that tornadoes are still possible. So we're just going to have to keep our fingers crossed that Mother Nature decides to back way off, and hopefully, somehow, we have a lot of survivors here. Like I said, I have a bad feeling that there were fatalities tonight. And it may not be until morning that we find out how bad it was. Still looking at some rotation on radar. Again, multiple warnings in effect, southwestern portions of Ohio. I appreciate you guys being on here. And again, for helping to get the word out that dangerous nighttime tornadoes have been occurring around southwestern Ohio. Tornado warning does continue for Licking, Ohio. That's Licking County at 12:21. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located over Beechwood trails moving east at 25 miles per hour. looking at live pictures, and I'm going to bring you guys some more live pictures in a moment. This is a look at the tornado that was out of Sweetser, Indiana. And this is not the type of tornado that you normally see in Indiana. I know, because I'm from Indiana. This looks like something you would see out of the plains. And, you know, it's a long stovepipe. That's probably the best way I would describe that. I'd like to make this video larger. Let me come back to it. I mean, that's the Sweetster. I'm guessing that's eastern Indiana earlier this evening. Tornado watch does continue until 2 o'clock. Again, I'm just kind of pouring through my my social media right now, seeing what information I can provide, what updates I can give you guys. Radar velocities are looking better, but we're not out of the woods yet. Got 887 people on here. Thanks for being here. Again, this channel, we just launched it a week and a half ago. It's dedicated to covering severe weather, high-end severe weather events. And the hope is that we can help give a longer lead time warning to help protect property and perhaps save lives. That's the purpose of this video. I'm a 20-year broadcast veteran with my American Meteorological Society seal of approval. I'm a certified broadcast meteorologist. I've worked in Texas, I've worked in Kansas, Mississippi, Ohio, the Ohio River Valley, the Great Lakes, and now I'm here to work for you. So if you don't mind, hit the subscribe and hit the notification bell. Hit the little bell. That way next time that we have life-threatening weather, I can inform you, and you can also help be a part of that warning process next time. And again, I can't thank you guys enough for being on here. We're going to stick with this. Again, still a dangerous situation, and I'm looking for the new images that are coming down the pipe through social media. I'm hoping to share those with you as I see them. Here's a picture of the tornado. This is the Dayton tornado. Let's take a look at it. This is a screen grab of the video I think I just showed you, so I'm not going to bother to bring that back up. That's from Mike Smith, U.S. weather expert, formerly from AccuWeather. So the entire meteorological realm is watching this right now as it's unfold. Again, we showed you pictures out of Salina, Ohio, where apparently there's just absolutely devastation from several neighborhoods. Like I said, I would be very surprised if there are not fatalities, and maybe a number of them. Unfortunately, I think that's the reality of what we're looking at. All right, what's this video here? Okay, looking at more destruction. I'll show you this. More destruction coming out of the Dayton area. And this is, let me sure I'm giving credit where credit's due. Special Agent Nunez. We just took a direct hit from a tornado. This is Urbana, Ohio. So Urbana, if you guys, I believe that's near Dayton. So that's pretty bad. Let's play that again. I'm gonna make this a little wider for you. You see his home is completely destroyed. Massive damage coming in again from the Dayton area, where a tornado emergency was declared. A lot of emergency services are beginning to leak out some information. Again, we're not going to know the scope of this until tomorrow. We just know that several communities were hit by what appear to be violent tornadoes. There's that screen grab. I can't make that go full screen, but you guys can clearly see the tornado in the middle of the screen there. Tornado warning continues for Clark, Fayette, Greene, and Madison counties until 12:45. Yeah, Ohio hard hit tonight. Very, very hard hit. Also getting some images from Indiana earlier, where these storms fired up prior to entering Ohio. This is an interesting image. I can share this with you. So this is from Andy Knopfheimer, I believe. You can see the tornado dropping out of the sky. This is Pendleton, Indiana. So this is the same storm before it entered Ohio tonight. I was tracking these storms mid-afternoon, just south of Chicago. There appears to have been a touchdown in Metro Chicago, south side, maybe multiple. Tornado warnings lit up all of northern Indiana, eventually into central Indiana, eventually into eastern, and now Ohio. If you guys have been following my programs the last couple of weeks, again, this program's brand new. Just launched this channel about a week and a half ago. We've been talking about how we've been so fortunate the last few severe weather seasons where we haven't had major, we have not had a bad per se severe weather season since about 2012. I think that changes this year. I know that changes. That changes tonight. If it didn't, this past week. And I got bad news because we could have a repeat tomorrow. Not to look too far down the pipe, but we've got a lot more in the way of storm potential here in the next few days ahead. This very active pattern continues. May, typically the peak of severe weather season, and this May doesn't show any signs of letting off the gas. Let me pull up your convective outlook. We're going to look into next couple of days ahead, what you guys can expect. I know tomorrow could be a bad day for the plains, and not just the plains. There's some areas. There's a few areas that we'll be watching, but Kansas City, I think, Kansas City, eastern Kansas, I think could be looking at some real bad conditions here next couple of days. Again, it's shocking how these things work. You can go so many years without a real bad season. Well, it's bad. It got bad tonight, and I'm afraid that we're going to have more of this coming up in the future. I'll get back to it. Live radar analysis coming up in just a moment to give you an update on where the warnings are. This is a look ahead towards the date tomorrow. If you follow me from western New York, we'll be watching our friends to the south across Pennsylvania. From Pittsburgh to almost Philadelphia, that's an enhanced risk of severe weather. And then we'll be following my friends from the plains, my former state of Kansas, maybe into Kansas City, maybe into portions of Nebraska, Iowa, and Oklahoma. That's an enhanced risk, and I would be surprised if they don't upgrade that to a moderate. That'll likely become a moderate risk of severe weather. That's tomorrow. We're going into your day 3, and that chance it shifts a little bit further south. And then hopefully we'll have some quieter patterns developing after that, but it looks like another busy day across the plains here tomorrow. It's not what we need, and again, I'm hoping we get some good news for our friends quickly coming out of Ohio tonight with these storms continue to produce tornado warnings. Latest warnings issued here for, let me pull that up, there you go. Looks like I zoomed in a little too far. Bremer. Now New Lexington, tornado warning for you. That's a pretty good signature near Bremer. Storm rotating pretty hard right now. Tornado warning for Perry County and northwestern Morgan County. So treat that, again, very carefully. We've got a new confirmed tornado warning tag. This is from that second supercell. Passing to the east of Cedarville, north of Jamestown, but close to Jamestown. Again, there's a confirm. They say this is on the ground. And I'm showing some, pretty strong velocity at times on this one. Right now it looks like we've got broad shear of about 100 mph. Effective shear associated with that. So they went ahead and they put that confirm further downwind. So let's get those, the actual warnings. This is for a lot of the same counties we've been mentioning. So that's Fayette County, southern Madison County. Also, that tornado is in southwestern Madison County now. Tornado warning also continues for Pickaway. What's that? Is it Ross? Is it the town? Is it Pickaway County? Williamsport. That's moving east to 45. Alright, I'm going to pull back our other radar unit. We'll take any more questions or comments you have. Well, again, the tornado outbreak does continue. This is an outbreak again tonight. And we'll be able to get you guys caught up with the all the latest warning information. Ohio so hard hit. And let me at least mention our friends across the plains, because there are tornado warnings there tonight as well. I don't think they're getting blasted like Ohio has been. But take a look at this. So bigger picture here. So Ohio's got the tornado watch, goes till 2 a.m. and several embedded tornado warnings, but you make your way into southern Nebraska, and there's one tornado warning that's located on the Kansas border north of Concordia. This is getting close to my old stomping ground, where I used to forecast for several years in eastern, northeastern Kansas. Also, tornado warning for that is northeastern Colorado, located near the town of Yuma. Two hot spots tonight. Again, I'm afraid it was a bad night for our friends across southwest Ohio, particularly hard hit near Dayton, north of Xenia, Ohio tonight, where we have confirmed that neighborhoods were destroyed. And like I said, I just think we're going to have to wait to see how bad it is. It's going to be daylight tomorrow, I think, before we get the full scope. Some of the wording on social media is calling this unbelievable. It's calling it catastrophic. There's a look at the current analyst radar. Unbelievable, catastrophic, just a few words that you could throw out there to describe what's happening tonight. And I hate to say this, but this tornado is showing new signs of life. That's the confirmed tornado located north of Jamestown. Tornado warning remains in effect for south central Clark, east central Greene County, southwestern Madison counties. It's showing that rotation picking up again. This is not what you want to see. I'm going to see, got about 55 one way. Got on the other side of this, we're about 30, 35, so about 90 mile per hour of effective shear. I'm going to probe this to see if it's picking up debris. And I will say possible debris ball. Possible TDS, excuse me. That's tornadic debris signature, possible on radar. They're going to go ahead and cancel the warning for Al Glaze, Champaign, Clark, Greene, Hardin, Logan, Miami, Montgomery, Shelby, Union counties. That's the watch. They're going to go ahead and let that go. I want to let's see where we stand here. You're looking at analyst radar. Latest warning information. We're down to 3 tornado warnings. That's an improvement, actually. The most serious one in my mind is the one that's confirmed, located near Jeffersonville. Jeffersonville, again, take your tornado precautions. You want to go ahead and take your shelter now. If you live in Midway, I think the storm's going to pass safely to your south. I'm going to go back over to social media, see if we're getting any new reports coming in. All types of damage coming in out of Ohio. Again, neighborhoods devastated tonight north of Dayton. I think you've seen most of the video that's out there, so we'll stick with the radar for now. We'll go back over to our other radar units. Analyst radar showing you where the watch currently is. I'm going to take off some of that flash flooding. There are flash flood warnings north of Dayton. Okay. Put this into motion for you. Meanwhile, I'm going to try to take in some new information. Checking in with my YouTubers here. You guys have done a great job again helping to get the word out tonight. Thank you for the shares. If you don't mind, subscribe and hit the bell. That way you know next time I'm on. This is a new channel that's dedicated to increasing warning, advanced warning for high-end severe weather events, and this event certainly qualifies for that. So thank you for being here. My name is Jeremy Kappell. If you haven't been here before, Jeremy Kappell. I'm a broadcast meteorologist veteran, over 20 years. I've got forecasting experience from the plains of Texas and Kansas. I've worked in Mississippi, a decade in the Ohio River Valley, and now for portions of the Great Lakes. So The great thing about social media, and when you've got the software to do so, you can broadcast and you can focus on severe weather remotely from wherever you're at. So that's what we're using this channel for, is every time there's a bad day or a bad night, whether it's tornadoes or eventually landfalling hurricanes, you'll get that information here in real time from a trained meteorologist, not from a hobbyist, not from, you know, a sensationalist. This is a no hype zone. Unfortunately, weather at times, you know, it can be sensational by itself. You don't need to add to the drama, and we try not to do that here. All right, let's see who we've got on here. Boy, I tell you what, a ton of comments tonight. Jack Allen, thank you for moderating, along with Jerry Edwards. You guys are good friends of mine, and you know, big help to Team Kappell, if you will. Steve on here, first time catching this feed. Great coverage, y'all. Thank you very much, Steve. Appreciate your kind words. Again, thoughts and prayers to our friends down there in Southwest Ohio, perhaps impacted by a nasty, nasty outbreak, rash of tornadoes, if not violent tornadoes tonight. Let's go back over to our other radar source, and this is Analyst Radar, and this is positive. The storm located near Jeffersonville appears to be weakening. That's great. That's wonderful news. Circleville, again, that storm also weakening at this hour, and we expected at some point they would begin to lose their punch. Loss of heating means loss of instability, and that instability is what drives these thunderstorms. So we're hopeful to watch these values, CAPE values, convective available potential energy, continue to drop, and as that continues to drop, we'll watch these storms slowly continuing to weaken. That's good news. That's what we've been waiting for. All right, so what else do we have here? First time here worried about Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, you're underneath an enhanced risk for tomorrow. I don't think you have anything to worry about tonight, but with heating tomorrow, with the storms refire, once you get into the afternoon and evening tomorrow, we do think the conditions will be there for the possibility of more rotating thunderstorms. So tomorrow, it's wait and see. You don't always know how these things are going to play together until you get right up on it. Devil's in the details, and tomorrow's going to present its own challenges. All right, Terrell, thank you for being on here. Saw some bad damage photos from Salina. Salina, Ohio, hit very hard. It's a suburb of Dayton, and it looks like several suburbs up in that area were hit very hard tonight. Kind of taking a broad view on our analyst radar. Look at all the warnings from earlier. My goodness, it was a rash of tornadoes. What about Mansfield, Ohio? That's coming in from MX3 Ghost. Mansfield, I think you're good. I think the threat has shifted south of you tonight. Let me just double check. But I think Mansfield's going to be okay. That threat is going to continue to shift south and away from you tonight. So Mansfield, I think you're fine. While storms are just like a dying car battery, the jerk known as the sun is coming with jumper cables to start these storms back to life tomorrow. I guess one way to look at it, Echo. We don't like to think of it like that, but hopefully tomorrow brings us better weather. We do know the threat will be there, though. Maybe for more nasty, nasty thunderstorms with the capability of tornadoes. Been a crazy night. Coming in from M.S. She lives by Dayton International Airport. What about Chillicothe? Chillicothe, that threat will continue for you. No warning though. There's a warning north of Chillicothe. I can zoom on in. Let's see. That storm is weakening. I think your chances are good that you're going to avoid major damage in Chillicothe tonight. The warning is north of your area. The storm is weakening. Signs are better. Things are moving in the right direction. Not out of the woods though. So I don't want to give you guys a false sense of security. It's been a long night. I've been on broadcasting today 5-6 hours or so. My voice is getting a little shoddy. But I'm optimistic and I'm hopeful that we've gotten through the worst of this event. And I am definitely calling this an event. So I'm trying to pull up new radar information coming in from Wilmington, Ohio. They did extend the tornado watch a little further east and south. But again, the vital signs are there for us to be improving. I'll have that other radar unit up for you in just a moment. I'm looking for new images coming through social media that I can share with you. Anything else I can give you. Pendleton, Indiana was hit hard today as well. Haven't mentioned much about that. Haven't had a chance to. Since the tornado emergency earlier for Dayton and Montgomery County. Again, looking at these images on social media, we know that strong tornado touchdown, what appears to be a strong tornado touchdown, northern suburbs of Dayton, perhaps into suburbs of Xenia. Let me pull, here's another image for you to take a look at. This is through Terry Joe. This is from Channel 7, WHIO. And I believe that is that Salina, Ohio? I don't know, but that's pretty bad damage. I can tell you that much. So we'll continue to monitor. There's a picture I showed a little while earlier, just awful damage there. Again, that's Salina, Ohio. Neighborhood was just absolutely wrecked tonight. Cincinnati is fine. All this is north and now moving northeast. Here's some damage out of Indiana earlier. This is Pendleton. Continue to monitor that. There's a look at all the wide radar information that we're looking at for you here. Tornado watch until 2 a.m. Storms have been showing signs of weakening. It took a while, but we're also still showing at least the one storm that's got just not a real good look to it. I say not a real good look. It's obviously a supercell thunderstorm. It's got the classic hook echo. But I will say that the velocity return's not all that impressive. So hopefully that means that the storm continues to unravel. The storm produced several tornadoes tonight, confirmed, as is the one here. It's still holding on to rotation south and east of Circleville. So tornado located close to Circleville tonight. Putting all this into motion for you, kind of see the big picture of what's been occurring. Tornado emergency, in case you missed it, was issued earlier this evening about 11 o'clock, just north of Dayton. Dayton was hit and hit hard. Northern suburbs, looks like several communities impacted. It looks like in some areas, entire neighborhoods were damaged or possibly destroyed. You know, we can only pray that the casualties will be limited, but you know, with a storm like this, I don't see how you can avoid that. All right, so there's a severe thunderstorm warning for Fairfield, Hocking, Pickway, and Ross until 1:30. That's Weather Service out of Wilmington, Ohio. I'm out of water again. Tornado warning for Pickway and Ross has been canceled. And now they're replacing the tornado warning that was in effect for Circleville. They're replacing that with a severe, and that's good. That's another sign of weakening. I've been watching the weakening on the radar, and I think the Weather Service, they're seeing the same thing. So that's good. Here's a look at our other radar unit. I continue to scan through the social medias, seeing if there's any new information to pass along to you guys. I think, you know, things are improving steadily. Looking at another video basically showing lightning, potential tornado at night. Oh, I'll share this with you. And so let's give credit to who this is from. Give me a moment. This is coming in from Evan Millward, Dayton Tornadoes. This video reported of the twister near Beaver Creek. Forwarded from Matthew Marshall. This is going to be close to the Air Force Base. Okay. Watch the lightning in the center of your screen there. You can see it illuminate the tornado itself. And it's definitely, you can see what appears to be maybe rain obscured, but you definitely have that darker body in the center of your screen illuminated by the lightning. Presumably that's where the tornado is located. Again, this is the town that passed to the north, or the storm that passed to the north of Dayton, where it has produced a confirmed tornado that has not just done some damage, it's done a lot of damage. From the reports, entire neighborhoods have been damaged, if not destroyed. Okay, so possible tornado touchdown, Cheyenne, just north of Fort McKinley. North Ridge, as mentioned, in the suburb of Salina, so hard hit by that. That's where they think the worst of the damage is at. All right, going back over to latest warnings. Tornado warning does continue to 1:15. That's for Fayette, Ohio. Make that Fayette County, Ohio. And you can see those storms as they continue to race to the south. Gradually weakening, gradually unraveling. Tornado warning. Alright, so they're issuing a new warning, it looks like, till 1:15. And that's that same one that they just issued a severe thunderstorm for. Now they're going to go ahead and upgrade that to a tornado. Waiting for that information to come along. That should be for Fairfield, Hocking, Pickaway, Ross. Goes till 1:15. See what they're looking at. Rotation is increasing again. You know, this isn't like the signatures we were seeing earlier, but it's still enough to produce a tornado. Circleville, the storm's coming at you. Logan Elm Village, again, new circulate. It's the same circulation, but it's just increased. Here's a look at the wording on the new tornado warning. Southwestern Fairfield, western Hocking, southeastern Pickaway, northeastern Ross goes until 1:15. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near Logan Elm Village, moving southeast at 40 miles per hour. Circulation tightening up. There's a look at actual velocity running through the gates here. It looks like we're somewhere about 85 to 90 mile per hour, almost gate to gate shear. Let me put a location on it. It's difficult to say if it's lofted debris at this point. Probably not. Hopefully it won't. You can see those areas downwind where this is moving towards. Been a long night, folks. Been a long night. He said the airport got really quiet. That's coming in from MS, talking about the airport near Dayton. Talking about, and then, okay, so they didn't allow any planes to take off or to land, and then a whole slew of planes just came in from the south to land once the all clear was given. Thanks for that information. It's John Glenn Airport. Talking about Aaron is talking about John Glenn Airport. Okay, well, thanks again for you guys helping to spread the word tonight. Nighttime tornadoes, it's never what you want to see. Oftentimes scary. And in this case, I'm afraid potentially deadly tonight, as entire neighborhoods were heavily damaged, if not destroyed. North of Dayton, that was a tornado emergency that was declared. So again, this is a national story. Everybody's going to be talking about this when you wake up in the morning. You just pray that fatalities will be limited. I find it highly unlikely that there weren't some fatalities out of this storm tonight. Circleville, you need to be in your safe place now. New tornado warning. Circulation increasing for Logan Elm Village. There's the other one, south of Mount Sterling tonight. That one appears to be unraveling though. It does not show the signs of rotation that it did. It's looking much quieter at this hour. You know, these storms, they kind of come in waves. And unfortunately, we've just had the right balance here in the last couple of weeks. The ingredients, unfortunately, have been coming together more times than not. And I think we'll probably have more next couple of days. Particularly, I'm concerned about tomorrow for parts of Pennsylvania, Mid-Atlantic, and again across the Central Plains. Going back over to where I'm analyzing what the atmosphere is capable of right now on our Storm Prediction Center. They've got a meso analysis that allows me to forecast in real time. I can see that Cape has come down to less than 1,000 for almost the entire area, which is great. Meanwhile, National Weather Service talks about Pickaway Cell with a tornado possibly right now just southwest of Circleville and projected to move through the southern end of the city. Again, Circleville, possible tornado right now. Just one in a long list of them. We're hoping this is a quick hitter. Maybe it'll lift. Wind shear is still conducive. Looking at you need that wind energy to get these storms to rotate, and you've still got quite a bit of that energy above you. So as far as the fuel, which is the instability, it's come down a lot, but it may be just enough instability to continue to get these storms to produce a little while longer. I hope not. I hope we're done. But we've at least got the one storm that seems to be still kicking up quite a fight. There's analyst radar and the storm of concern located very close to Circleville. That looks like maybe a tornado. Might be on the ground now. Those winds have picked back up, as mentioned. We're looking at broad shear of about 90 to 95 mile per hour effective shear, located very close to Logan Elm Village. Let me place a marker, see if we've got debris flying around down there. It's not conclusive, so it's not confirmed to be on the ground. We just know that that potential is there, and supercell thunderstorm, it's spinning, and as it does so, again, that threat does continue. Got about 590 people on here, so great crowd. As mentioned, thanks very much for helping us to get the word out. A lot of you have already shared. Thank you. If you haven't shared, please consider that. Still a dangerous situation. We're not out of the woods yet. If you missed it earlier, a tornado emergency declared north of Dayton, Ohio. What appears to be a large, violent tornado moved through portions of Montgomery County, the northern suburbs of Dayton, into perhaps northern suburbs of Xenia. An entire stretch north of Highway 35 looks like took quite a hit tonight. And now maybe the redevelopment of another tornado now. That's for Circleville. Hopefully you took your shelter. So who's next? That's going to be Stoutsville, Kingston, Tarleton, Laurelville. If it holds together, maybe Rockbridge or South Bloomingville, I believe. It's been a long night. Never like to see this. Do not like to see this at all. Continuing to scan social media right now, looking for any new damage reports to pass along to you guys. Bunny of Silence, only watching this since I got friends online from Ohio. And well, thank you for being here. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do so. This channel just launched about a week and a half ago, and it's been incredibly busy. The purpose of this is easy. We're trying to provide higher end level coverage of severe weather events such as this one from a trained meteorologist with 2 decades of experience. I've got the American Meteorological Society seal of approval. I'm a certified broadcast meteorologist. I've got forecasting experience working in Texas and Kansas and Mississippi, the Ohio River Valley, and more recently the Great Lakes. So please hit subscribe, hit the notification button if you haven't already. I've got a couple moderators that are helping me tonight. That's my good friend Jack Allen, who's also helped to launch this program. He sometimes will be here helping me live. Didn't have the opportunity to bring him in tonight. Also our friend Jerry Edward, who is very near and dear to the family, also helping to moderate tonight. So thanks to both those guys. You might consider following them as well if they're friends of our weather enterprise and our weather family here. The goal is to allow more people to be aware, to get those warnings to more people in a faster and a more timely method. And since YouTube is such a great format for that, that's why we decided to launch this channel. Weather Live Now, there's a website associated with that as well. Go to kappellweather.com. Kappell spelled with a K, 2 P's, 2 L's. New information coming in from the National Weather Service. Tornado warning for Fayette, Ohio until 1:15. We've got about 15 minutes more on that. Again, this is a radar indicated tornado. Mr. Introspector just subscribed, liked, and shared to social media. Thanks for taking your time. It's a great opportunity. And Mr. Introspector, thank you for your help in getting the word that we're on here. And again, this isn't a one-time thing. We started this channel about a week and a half ago, and I'm just flabbergasted by the amount of severe weather we've had ever since I launched the channel. Who knows? Maybe this channel is the problem. I say that tongue-in-cheek, of course, but I do hope that we're helping. Let's go take a look at some more images coming off of social media. This is a tornado earlier. Let's get the location on this. Grant County, this is Indiana. And again, that pretty classic looking tornado, something that's more common across the plains. But it just goes to show you what a busy day it's been. We'll retweet some of these images as I'm seeing them coming in here. Getting quite a bit of damage out there. That's Pendleton, Indiana. This was a video I showed earlier. I'll show it again, showing the formation of a tornado. All right, radar has confirmed tornado south side of Circleville. So when the radar confirms it, what that means is that we picked up a TDS, or a tornado debris signature. Let me go back on over to live radar. So it looks like that storm is doing business again, unfortunately for our friends near Circleville. You're in the middle of this now. There it is, folks. That circulation is spinning back up. Weather Service says there's a TDS on this. Let me find that center of rotation, which appears to be right about here. Oh, there's that new image. It does show the tightening of the winds. And there is indeed a clear TDS, tornadic debris signature, on radar. I can show you what that means. So we have a debris ball, which is apparent if you look over to the left-hand side of the screen. That's reflectivity. The debris ball is this area right here, where that is, again, vaulted values of reflectivity, likely debris flying around in the air, and we can confirm that by coming to the other side of the screen. And where you've got that lined up with, right there, where you've got that green and blue that lines up directly with where you've got the higher velocities, and that's embedded within the reflectivity. What that tells the radar is that there's likely debris vaulted in the air. It's not likely, it's picking up debris. So if you've got debris in the air, the only explanation is that that tornado is indeed on the ground. So that's why they tag it with the confirmed by radar. Without that product, it's a dual pole product, and unfortunately that TDS just got worse. There may be a lot of debris right now, a lot of debris being vaulted by this tornado. Where is it at? Where is it going? So the communities between Circleville and Tarleton to near Stoutsville. Again, we've got, oh, let me go back to that latest image. You're looking at that blue circle. That's a debris ball. TDS, technically known as a TDS. Tornado debris signature. I'm going to go back one frame. That's where I begin to pick it up. This is where the weather service said, yep, that's likely on the ground. So it's yeah, this storm is not done. It's still producing, and unfortunately that's damage. That's unfortunately property. Unfortunately, that's, you know, lives that could be altered tonight. Again, another rare, potentially very damaging night side tornado. Safety tips: basement, of course. If you have a basement, best place to be. If you don't, you've got to get into the center of a sturdy building. Hopefully your home is one. Get into an interior hallway. Hallway closet is great. Hallway bathroom. And while you're in that bathroom, jump in the tub. That tub provides more protection on all sides of you. You want to cover your neck and your head. Pillows and blankets, anything that you can pull over top of you. Your most vulnerable body part right here is your neck and your head. If you get this protect, you can lose an arm, break an arm, whatever. Protect your neck and your head. So if you don't have a basement, that's the best place to be. You want to put as many walls between you and that tornado as possible. So that's why we like that hallway closet idea. The hallway bathroom in the tub. The fiberglass from the tub will add additional protection. Plus, the plumbing can sometimes anchor that tub. It makes it one of the last items to leave a house during a bad tornado or a violent tornado. Hopefully this one will lift and lift quickly, because, you know, we just don't need this type of drama this time of the night. But I'm coming back over and looking at the new velocity signatures, and it's there. It's a no doubter. There's no doubt that it's doing business right now on the ground. And unfortunately, those velocities, they're up. I'm showing gate-to-gate shear, 50-60. It's 110 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear. There's no doubt this is causing problems. Where is it going? Tarleton, you need to be in your safe place now. Get the word out. Let me give you the county locations here. That's southwestern Fairfield, western Hocking, southeastern Pickaway, and northeastern Ross counties. Tornado, and the signature is increasing. There is a tornado that's on the ground. Unfortunately, velocities are back up. I'm looking at 85 plus 50. 135 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear. My goodness. Here we go again. This is another rotten storm. Nasty, rotten tornado. Where's it going? Again, Laurelville, Tarleton, Tarleton, Tarleton. That is on top of you. You have got to take immediate action. Center of your home. If you don't have a basement, center of your home. As I just told you, put as many walls between you and that threat as possible. I hate seeing this. I hate it. Too many lives that have been hurt or destroyed thanks to storms like this, especially the ones in the middle of the night like this. We've got 577 people on here right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you haven't shared the video, please do so. You don't know. You may be the one that can help save a life tonight. Also, you can subscribe to this channel. Just started about a week and a half ago, and be sure to hit the notification. The idea of this channel is that we want to deliver good, consistent, advanced warning for high-end severe weather events. I wouldn't be on here if this is low-end stuff. I'm not on here for dust devils. We're on here only when lives are really being threatened, and they are being threatened right now. Okay, so DOT, this is Ohio Department of Transportation checking in, says they lost a camera just south of Circleville a little while ago. So apparently a tornado took out a camera. Be interesting to see footage from that. Radar has confirmed south side of Circleville, Logan Elm Village with the storm in the Pickaway County. That was about 6-7 minutes ago. That storm is now located south of Stoutsville. It's approaching Tarleton. Tarleton, there was a TDS associated with that. It looks like it's still there. That's a TDS. It's a tornadic debris signature, which would be that little blue dot located just to the southwest of the green triangle that's upside down. So let's look at this, put this back into motion for you. It's been a long night. Again, a damaging, if not a destructive tornado. Tore a swath through parts of southwestern Ohio tonight. We know that North Dayton was heavily damaged. There were neighborhoods that looked like they've been wiped out. No word on fatalities. I think it'd be very, very difficult for us to avoid it, though, in this scenario. Tornado warning observed. The tag has been issued by the National Weather Service for Fairfield, Hocking, Pickaway, Ohio until 1:45. That's 1:45 a.m. This is a storm that's had a long history of producing tornadoes tonight, and unfortunately it's not quite done yet. We'll go back over to our other radar source, put everything in motion for you. You can see how everything's moving. Motion of the storms to the east and southeast. Everything's moving pretty quickly. I'm happy to say that the severe threat is rapidly reducing for central. Certainly northern Ohio, there's no threat right now. So it's all concentrated now, central, and now making its way into southeastern Ohio. Portsmouth, you're okay. These storms look like they're going to remain to your north. That tornado watch, I believe until 2 a.m. The Cambridge watch, that may have been extended, and I'll have to go back and look to see what the time is on that. I bet you Jack Allen probably knows. Elijah on here, this severe thunderstorm is coming for me, but it has a rotating icon above it. What does it mean? Well, that's just basically radar saying it has an algorithm that says, look, it's rotating at this level. Green is okay, yellow's bad, red's real bad. It's just an algorithm. It doesn't mean that there's a tornado. But we do know that there is a tornado, and it's located to the east of Circleville. So that's the only thing you really have to be concerned about right now. If you're not in that warning, you're okay for now. But that warning, they did extend it. They put out a long lead time on this. It goes all the way out to Logan. So if this is the area of concern, it's the only tornado warning right now. But again, we've got recent confirmation that it was on the ground, and it was lofting debris. You can see that signature just a little while ago, and it really spun up. It looks like it may be spinning down a little bit right now, but you don't want to let your guard down, because that can drop right back if it did lift. We don't know if it did. We know that there's a confirmed tornado warning. That's all you need to know. So areas downwind that will be impacted. Tarleton, that storm is on top of you now, moving towards South Perry, Rockbridge. All these areas could be impacted by a possible tornadic circulation soon, eventually towards Logan or Union Furnace. So they're putting out these advanced warnings, just letting people know down the road. Look, it's late. A lot of people want to go to bed. I think the Weather Service, I think they don't want you to go to bed right now, because they want you to be on your toes. They want you to watch out, wait for the threat to pass. Otherwise, the atmosphere is looking better. We're improving on the large scale, but, you know, all it takes is one. Okay, JJ on here. Is it chilly? Chilly, or we have one of those up in New York. It's pronounced chilly. Tornado warning till 1:45. My brother's dad's house got destroyed, and their truck is totaled. That's coming in from Drug Bandit. I'm sorry to hear that. Your family's in our prayers. David on here. Do you think these cells are going to make it as far east as West Virginia or Maryland? I think they'll die off later on tonight. I think tomorrow will bring its own set of problems, though. I want to go to sleep, says Kayleona. Kayleona, what's your location? Jack, thanks again for helping moderate this tonight's session. We didn't plan on being on. In fact, I was hoping to be in bed by now. But this threat could not be ignored. We had to get on. Again, we were getting on just as the tornado warning was being the tornado emergency, I should say, was being issued for areas just north of Dayton. So really, really upsetting and bad stuff. We had all types of nasty images coming in from that storm. It looks like entire neighborhoods may have taken a beating, if not completely destroyed. That's a severe thunderstorm warning for Fairfield, Hocking, Pickway, Ross till 1:30. Scanning the social media again. Again, looking for any new information, new images coming in. Oh wow, this is how you know it's getting bad. In Ohio, they've got to use snow plows to remove the debris from roads. Snow plows. Take a look. Don't take my word for it. Look. There you go. Wow. That's how bad it is. Wow. You got to use a snowplow, folks, to get the debris off the road. That's terrible. I'm afraid by the time we get to morning, we're going to see some really, really bad news coming out of that area. Again, north of Dayton, tornado emergency was issued earlier, and all we've seen are images that look just terrible. If anytime you've got to use a snowplow to remove debris, that cannot be good. All right, go back over to other radar units. There you go. Whew, been a long night, folks. I hope that tomorrow brings us better weather. I'm not 100% convinced that it will. Yeah, so they're using snowplows to remove debris off of roads north of Dayton. That's how bad it's gotten. I hate to see that. All right, this is the warn cell, the final tornado warning. I hope, knock on something solid. They've still got the confirmed tag because we had the tornado TDS, tornado debris signature, a little while ago. What I'm seeing suggests that rotation is not as bad right now. That's good. We'll stick with it again. I think we're moving in the right direction, but we're not there yet. And again, tomorrow's going to bring its own whole new set of problems for us. John Demler on here. Well done under terrible circumstances. Thanks, John. I appreciate you being here and for the words of support. Keep our friends in Southwest Ohio, keep them in your prayers tonight. They're going to need it. They're going to need a lot more than prayers. They're going to need help. They're going to need funding. They're going to need, it's going to take a long time for them to rebuild. We don't know the extent, but everything that we've seen suggests it's not good. I have not had any, I don't know about if there, how many injuries, I don't know. And I have not heard of a fatality yet, which would be great, but I'm not expecting that. Again, I think we have to think about this as a worst case scenario. Kelsey, tornado emergency are pretty rare and means very dangerous. Tornadoes headed towards a populated area. That's exactly right. Kelsey Weaver on here. Aaron Quinn on here. Marion has a stray cell coming for it. Again, my only real concern right now is the one cell that you're looking at currently with the tornado warning that's still attached. So hopefully we'll watch this as it continues to unwind. Okay, so the somebody was asking about the icon, the triangle. That could be a hail indicator that you're talking about as well. That is hail. It's being picked up, and we haven't talked about this because hail is a minor threat compared to tornadoes, but there's a hail risk. It's not a lot. Going back over to velocity, we're looking at normalized rotation here. If there's a tornado, it's right here between Tarleton and South Perry. And that warning does continue for now. I believe that goes until 1:30. I'll have to double check that. I'm referring to author. I'm not going to really touch on that right now. I'm talking about how climate change may or may not be contributing to this. Keep in mind that we've been several years where we have not had a bad severe weather season. That's changing this year. Tornadoes seem to be cyclical. They have been ever since that we've really been documenting them thoroughly, going back to the 50s, since we started issuing tornado warnings. We're in a bad cycle. That's what I can tell you right now. United States right now, eastern United States, is a cauldron of severe weather potential right now. Not just tonight. Things are looking better right now tonight. It was awful earlier, of course. But we're still looking at a lot of ingredients that are going to remain in play starting tomorrow. The Mid-Atlantic, Pennsylvania, and then back across the plains. Could be another day of outbreaks tomorrow. Could be a multiple outbreak situation where you've got two parts of the country that are seeing tornadoes at the same time. I hope not. You know, I'd like for us to just rest and just get past this season, but we're going to have to remain on our toes. With that being said, since you're on my channel, know what it's for. It's for this purpose. It's for live streaming of these high-end events. Again, if it's a low-end threat, I'm not bothering. But when lives are at stake, and especially when it's in more populated areas, I'm going to be on here. So follow with me, subscribe. If you haven't already, hit the notification button. If you haven't already, that way you'll become aware the moment I pop back on during the next event. And again, it could happen as early as tomorrow. I hope not, but the way that things have been working here, I would not at all doubt it, this might be exactly what I'm doing for a good chunk of the day tomorrow. We'll watch. Aaron says Dayton got hit by 2 tornadoes. There were multiple confirmed tornadoes in the Dayton area. That is true, Aaron, from 2 separate supercell thunderstorms. We're looking at those 2 storms right now. The one has weakened considerably. That's a severe thunderstorm warning for Circleville to Kingston. But the other one, still enough rotation to keep that tornado warning. Rotation is down a little bit. Well, actually, I say that. Now it's trying to come back up again. Where new radar data coming in as we speak. And it's unfortunate. I don't like to pass this information along, but we're back up to about 110 mile per hour gate to gate shear. So if it's not on the ground, it likely will be. Who's infected by this? Again, another tornado. Looks like it's on the ground. Let's see if we've got a debris signature. Not for sure yet, but with that type of a couplet, it'd be very difficult to believe that it's not going to make its way to the ground, at least briefly. So tornado warning does continue. Let's get the county information. Southwestern Fairfield, Hocking County, southeastern Pickaway, and central Ohio. That goes until 1:45. The rest of everything else is looking better. There's picking up some rotation in that storm up there. Where is this at? Near Glenford. That's a severe thunderstorm warning, but it's broad. But it is a rotating updraft. We call that a mesocyclone. I don't think I've used that word tonight. A mesocyclone, rotating updraft. Again, we're looking into the state of Ohio. This is now south central Ohio. That's where the hotbed is. Again, these are the one storm, still tornado warned. We'll watch it. Hopefully we can put this thing to bed soon. I want a quick shout out to my friends that are on here, though. Thank you very much for being on here, for helping to share this video, getting the word out that we've had a life-threatening severe weather outbreak that's been ongoing now. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and the notification bell. That's how you know the moment I pop on. I'm not popping on if it's not severe. I'm not popping on if it's not high end and there's not lives that are being threatened. So that's the purpose of this channel, is to cover those higher end events. Tornado warning does continue for Hocking County until 1:45. At 1:20, so this is now confirmed tornado was 2 miles southeast of Charlton. So they confirmed it again. That tells me that that TDS is back on there. Got it. Weather Service says it has been confirmed again, and let me double confirm. So what we'll do is we'll pop on in there, and that's a really ugly looking velocity signature that you're looking at there on the right side of your screen. I'm looking at winds of somewhere in the order, still about 100 mile per hour gate to gate. So there's the center of rotation. Let me place a marker. Let me see what it shows for debris. It's on there. It's not the biggest debris signature that I've seen, but debris is in the air. So that means the tornado's on the ground. That means the radar has confirmed there is another tornado. There you have it. Okay. That's Elu on here with some good information. Go to redcross.org if you're in an area that's impacted by tornadoes. And if you're good, you want to mark yourself as safe. That's Elu on here. Check her comment out. Some areas got hit very, very hard. Okay. It's been a long night, folks. Long night. The reason I came back on for my third broadcast of the day. Got back on about the time that the tornado emergency was declared just north of Dayton. Somewhere around 11 o'clock. 10:45 maybe. I can't remember exactly. I just knew that we had to get on, get this information out. Which, we've done that. Now here we are still watching one tornado likely on the ground. Another one still in progress. It's 1:22 at night. Still tracking tornadoes. Not exactly what I wanted to be doing tonight, but there's that TDS. It's back. That's that blue area near the red dot on the right hand side of your screen. What does that mean? It means we have a rain-wrapped tornado, and it is on the ground. It is doing damage. We know that because the radar is picking up on debris that's in the air. So let me highlight that for you here. Oop, not there. Sorry. So on the left-hand side of your screen, there's where the circulation is. It's right. It's embedded in the middle of that thunderstorm. So it is completely rain-wrapped. But we know it's there because right here, oops, let me draw that a little better. Right here, we actually have the actual signature. There it is. That little blue dot doesn't look like much to the untrained eye, but to a trained meteorologist, that says that there's debris in the air because it's occurring over. It's occurring over the velocity couplets. We're seeing the winds it's moving towards and away from the radar, and it's also occurring on top of what appears to be a debris ball. It's embedded within the thunderstorm. This is a rain-wrapped, dangerous storm. It's nighttime. You can't see it. You can't see it, and you especially can't see it when it's raining, as heavy as it is with hail. We've got the hail signature on there as well. Perhaps hail to inch and a half, maybe even golf balls. So ugly, ugly storm. Got velocity on the right, reflectivity on the left. Warning is for this entire area. That is a severe thunderstorm warning. They've dropped Pickaway County. However, it does continue. For Hocking County, that goes until 1:45. 1:45 in the morning, tornado warning continues. That's the last warning. I'm hoping that this storm weakens and we can all go to bed soon. But right now, we think it's putting a tornado on the ground. On the ground. Where is it going? It's a Rock Bridge, Logan, South Bloomingville, I believe. Getting some new information from the National Weather Service. I said received word. This is a Weather Service forecaster. Received word northwest of Laurelville, southeast of Pickaway, that they've sustained structural damage to the house and barn. Everyone's okay. I'm glad to hear that everybody's okay, but again, this is the storm that we're tracking right now. It's doing damage, as many of these storms have been tonight. Damaging, if not destructive, tornadoes tonight across south and southwestern Ohio. Earlier there was a tornado emergency that was declared north of Dayton. It's been a long night for a lot of folks, and we're still tracking it for you guys. Let me take a look over my social media feed, see if there's anything new to pass along. We've seen lots of images of damage. I showed a picture earlier of a snowplow clearing debris. When would you? I mean, who would have thought? You got to get the snowplows out to clear the debris. But that's how bad things have gotten tonight for north of Dayton. They're using snowplows to clear debris. This is a look at image that came in a little while earlier. Lightning illuminating that funnel north of Dayton, I believe this is where this is. forwarded by Josh Martinez. Here's another picture, and it's probably, I can't tell if that's lightning or if that's a power flash that's illuminating the bottom side of that storm. Nasty, nasty looking supercell. That's definitely a power flash there. Power flash, that's when the tornado is it's tearing up the electrical grid, and it hits those transformers and they blow up. And so you can see them popping as the storm is approaching. So sometimes you get the funnel illuminated by lightning from above, and sometimes from electrical charges below. Again, that's where it's tearing up the electrical grid, and power flashes, again, from the transformers as they're blowing up. You know, it's good because it tells us their location, and it helps to increase our confidence when they're occurring. I think we looked at this video earlier, again, showing the tornado kind of there being illuminated by lightning. Right there. Right there. So what appears to be a large violent tornado earlier struck north of Dayton, doing a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Alright, new information coming in. They're still observed. Tornado has been observed. Confirmed tornado is located 4 miles northeast of Laurelville. We'll go back over to radar. And there you have it. Still appears to be heavily rain wrapped, but we're also looking at 55 to somewhere around 80 mile per hour gate to gate shear. It's coming down a little bit, but still dangerous storm. Debris ball still evident. TDS, I should say. I pointed this out just a little while earlier, so we got the rotation. We can give you side-by-side velocity. We'll put that on the left. So there's that signature. Center of rotation located right about here. That's where you're seeing the blues associated with that debris ball. So point out the two areas. Go back. And so there's the center of rotation on the left. And you line that up with this feature you see over there on the right, where that blue is located. Oop, looks like I butchered that. And so that blue is actually the TDS. Oh man, I can't draw tonight. There it is. So that's the actual where the radar is picking up debris that's in the air. If you have debris in the air, that means you have a tornado on the ground. That's just, it's a simple, very straight correlation. And so with that, it just increases confidence of these warnings, which is why they've got the one out that they've got. It does cover pretty much all of, I've had so many warnings, I forgot the name of the county, Hocking County. That's Hocking County where the tornado warning does continue. All right, 33,000 people without power in Dayton. That's coming in from Craig Neal. Craig, thank you for sharing that information. There is a tornado in progress. It looks like it's 20, it's not too far away from Grand Island, Nebraska. Again, kind of watching from a distance more active weather across the plains tonight. I don't plan on covering that. I do know that there are active tornado warnings, and I can show you those as well as we go back over to our other radar source. So here's the other areas that we're watching for the possibility of tornadoes tonight. There's Grand Island. There's a new tornado warning there. Again, it's got some distance to cover. Tornado warning near there. I'm going to turn on US radar. Give me a moment. Should have that up for you in a moment. And also, it looks like some tornado warnings. This is far southwestern sections of Nebraska. Another long night for them. We've been focused on the Ohio event where we've had confirmation. A large violent tornado has struck portions of southwest and now southern Ohio. Multiple warnings. At one time it was a tornado emergency that was declared for Dayton, Ohio. Now we've got the one tornado warning that remains in effect. It's for Hocking County. I'm hoping that this thing weakens and weakens soon, and we weaken all go to bed. It has been a very, very long night. But again, I want to thank you guys. Thank you for your support tonight. Thank you for the shares of this video. If you haven't already, please do or consider. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my page, we just launched it a week and a half ago. And you know, the purpose of the page is to provide advanced warning for high-end events. High-end events, we're not messing around with any low-end severe. This is when you actually have lives that are truly in jeopardy, truly in risk. And it's through this channel that we're hoping to get that word out to a wider audience. So hit the subscribe and hit the notification button if you haven't already. That'll help for next time we have to go back on. I'm hoping we don't have to go back on tomorrow, but it's definitely a possibility. Okay, Jack Allen still monitoring the comments. Thanks for helping moderate this tonight, Jack, as always. You know, we keep this as a no hype zone. That's the point of this. There's a lot of misinformation out there on social media when it comes to severe weather. I know there's a lot of hobbyists. I know there's a lot of enthusiasts that try to spread information, but oftentimes they just don't have the information. Most of them are not trained meteorologists. I've got 20 years of broadcast experience. I'm sealed by the American Meteorological Society. I'm a certified broadcast meteorologist. I've worked in Texas, I've worked in Kansas, I've worked in Mississippi, for many years in the Ohio River Valley, and now the Great Lakes. So if you're looking for a credible source, hopefully I'll become your go-to guy. This is a no hype zone. I'll shoot you straight. We'll shoot it down the middle. Now, good bad news passed along to you about this current threat making its way through portions of Hocking County in Ohio. Good news is that I am seeing the downtick. I'm seeing the circulation that was producing the TDS. It is pretty much, it's just pretty much being eviscerated right now. Like, it's just dramatically dropping, which is great. That's fantastic. So that's the good news, is that the circulation that we've been following is rapidly weakening. So let's make sure that the TDS went away with it too. Okay, and the TDS is gone. It's gone. Okay, so don't think a tornado's on the ground now. However, on the south end, it looks like you're getting a little bit of rotation north of South Bloomfield. So let me find a location on this. South end of the storm, seeing a little bit of rotation that's upticking. Weather Service not talking about it. Maybe it's not rotating hard enough for them. I'm looking at broad shear of about 60 or 70 miles per hour, so it's not like top end. Hopefully the weakening process will continue. And tell you what, it's about 1:35. I've been watching this. Hopefully, if we don't get, hopefully we get some good news in here. Matt Ludvigsen on here, best news in hours, talking about that. Yeah, the TDS just went away. The circulation just dropped way down. Seeing a little new circulation trying to develop. Doesn't mean it's going to. So we'll watch. That's near South Bloomingville. South Bloomingville. New little rotation trying to take shape. Getting request in from Enchanted Woods. Dayton EMS needs help. They need volunteers. So if you are in that area, maybe you're of able mind and body, maybe you can contribute. Maybe you know somebody down there that can help. But again, the news coming out of Dayton tonight is bad, and we're hoping, for a miracle tomorrow once daylight hits. But we don't think so. We think that they took a direct hit from what appears to be a violent tornado. From what I've seen, at least EF3 damage. At least EF3. That's just from my personal opinion, but based on my experience in the business, I would say at least EF3. All right, so some broad rotation near South Bloomington. That's okay. We've seen worse. And I'm out of water. And that's the worst part. This is the worst storm in 2019 for Ohio. Yes, Aaron, this is the worst storm I think Ohio has seen in a while. Yeah, yeah, we've only had this channel up and running for a week and a half now. The channel existed before now, but it was just a week and a half ago we did our first stream. And so I'm happy to say that we're seeing a nice following. I want to thank you guys for that, for being a part of that following. The idea is to help give people advance warning. That's what we're trying to do here. Okay, Matt on here talking about the Grand Island storm, which I'll take a look at it tonight, but I do not plan on covering unless it gets right on into Grand Island. Those guys, they're usually better prepared and they're better warned. But I'll watch. Again, it's been a pretty long night so far. I just want to make sure Ohio is safe before we go back over there. But out of curiosity, you got me thinking, so I'm going to go over there now. I'm at least going to look at it. All right, so there's the storms in Ohio. We're watching the one storm that's it's beginning to trend downward. We're really hoping to get some good news for those guys soon. We're going to run on out to Nebraska here. Let's try to figure out the situation. I'm going to take a look at the radar out of Omaha. And we'll have that information up for you in just a moment. Scanning social media, still seeing more pictures coming in from the Sweetser, Indiana tornado. Looks like that one was on the ground for quite a while, did quite a bit of damage. Alright, so we're in Ohio now, folks, or Nebraska, I should say. Let's go take a look at it on analyst radar. Talking about a storm, looks like it's embedded in a line. Looks like quite a bit of rotation on there, showing somewhere around 100, about 110 mile per hour, gate to gate shear. That's a healthy storm. Let's see if we can't rock it back a little bit. So it looks like that was likely doing some damage. Let me see, did that TDS? And again, I'm not in contact with the Weather Service out here right now. I don't plan on covering this one unless it looks like it's going to go right into Grand Island. I don't think it will. There's a lot of open country out here. Okay, so they went ahead and issued a new tornado warning. This is for Ohio. So that did look like it was TDSing. So again, this is the storm out there in Nebraska. Keep an eye on it. It did look like it had a TDS associated with it. Might still be associated with it. Near Pool. The tornado warning gets extended into south of Howard City. It's still a good distance away from Grand Island. I wouldn't be terribly concerned for that. Alright, so let's see. Weather Service, they went ahead and, okay, they issued on the second storm, the one that's coming up behind it. This is out of the Ohio storm. There's a look. New warning coming in behind it, so it's the same counties we've been dealing with. Radar indicated for Hocking and Pickaway and Ross. Okay, so I'm going to take our analyst radar and we're going to head back to Ohio. All right, we've got 418 people on here. Thank you again, everybody, for helping out, getting the word out that we're on here. We appreciate the subscriptions, notifications. This channel just launched about a week and a half ago, and seen a tremendous amount of success helping to get the word out for these tornado events. We've had a number of outbreaks since we launched this channel, and we'd like for this to be the last one. I doubt it will be. But we appreciate you guys being a part of the process. I'm meteorologist Jeremy Kappell. I'm your host. I'm also a broadcast veteran of 20 years, and hopefully I'm adding some value and I'm helping you guys understand what's going on. I'm helping you guys get the word out. again, using all the radar software and technology available. That one storm that we've been watching for you, it did. It just spun right back up. Every time we think that we're moving in a better direction, and then we get some bad news. And so there you go, Kingston, you got that circulation on top of you right now. And you need to be taking your shelter immediately. So who's downstream? That's Laurelville. It's coming for you next. This is a storm that it really weakened a lot earlier, and now all of a sudden it's showing signs of life. All right, so I'm placing a marker there. We're testing for TDS. It's not confirmed on radar. But again, we've got the velocity signatures that would indicate that there's definitely a strong circulation above you. Meanwhile, the other storm is weakening, which is great. Continues to show less and less potency to it, and we're hoping that trend will continue. All right. Any more comments, questions on here? Again, thanks to my friend Jack Allen and Jerry Edwards for moderating tonight. Jerry, hats off. Good night to you. I'm hoping to follow suit in short order. In the meantime, still tracking a couple nasty thunderstorms, southwest Ohio, potentially producing tornadoes. New tornado warning there just not being issued, by the way. They're going to go downstream, way downstream on this one. This is for northwestern Meigs, Athens, and northeastern Benton County in southeastern Ohio. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to step away for a moment, and I'm going to get some hydration, and I will be back in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to keep the radar up and running, and give me a moment while I find myself a refreshment. I'll be back here in a moment. All right, looks like back in the saddle here, meteorologist Jeremy Kappell, still watching tornadoes across southern sections of Ohio. Unfortunately, this has been a long-lived event. I got on probably about 11, so we're going on about almost 3 hours now back on. This has followed a 3-hour event earlier across northern Illinois and northern Indiana. So that plus, in addition to my regular program that we do at Weather Live at 9:45 on Facebook, that's also got a YouTube side channel. I've now been on for about 7 hours today. 7 hours. But you know, that's part of what we signed up for when we took on this channel. The responsibility is to get the information, the most accurate information, out to those that could be affected by life-threatening conditions. And with these tornadoes tonight, that's exactly what we're seeing. Latest tornado warning information. So there's two storms. They're these twin supercells that have just been badgering so much of southern Ohio tonight. The second one looks like it's really perked up with those velocities really launching back up again, unfortunately. Looking at velocity signatures of around, I would say 50 towards the radar site, about 20 away, so it's about 70 mile per hour shear. That's not the highest end threat. And this one down here, honestly, this is much improved over what I've seen. I know they issued a large tornado warning, but that's actually a big improvement over what I've been watching as far as the velocity is concerned. I can rock it back a little bit. I think they're just being really cautious at this time, knowing all the damage reports that are coming out of Dayton. I just don't think they want to take a chance with it. So I understand what they're doing. They're being cautious, which, you know, you got to do what you got to do. I don't want to overwarn though. I think that's kind of, there's a fine line between warning sufficiently and overwarning. Overwarning can lead to bad things down the road, people not heeding warnings. Obviously tonight they're going to heed based on all the information that's coming out again from the Dayton area would be bad. Okay, so thanks for passing along that information. That's Freedom Fighter 57. He's following these storms in the plains. They've got some tornadoes in, unfortunately, Nebraska tonight. I don't plan on covering that one. We're watching though. We're watching for everybody. And my wife just woke up from a nap. Hi, I was hoping to join you soon.
I wonder.
Well, things are looking better for Ohio, but we do have 3 tornado warnings in progress. I'm hoping things improve. I'm trying to keep my eye on what's happening in Nebraska tonight, where there's a couple of tornadoes as well. One that looks fairly strong, but it's an open country. There's not a lot of population centers near it, which is good. So we're going to stick with this a little while longer. We've got 370 friends on here right now. I know that we've been on for a while, and I appreciate you guys being on with us. Thanks for the shares. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. Hit the notification bell. That's the way you know the moment I get on. I don't get on unless it's really, really bad weather, okay? We're not doing low-end stuff on this channel. This is when, you know, you have life-threatening weather. That's what this channel is going to be used for. So, again, thanks. Good night, hon. Love you. Who do we have on here tonight? Yeah, right? Good morning's right. Coming from Soupy Sheep. As a Ohio resident, I can't say I'm used to warnings lasting late into the night, and I get it. I'm really surprised this one's held on as much as it has. And it's really the second storm to me that looks more menacing. And I will say this, that again, and I've been giving you guys some optimism. I've been trying to tonight. These storms are going to run out of fuel. There's wind energy that's still there. That's the problem. But they're going to run out of fuel. Eventually, the instability runs out. I'm going to go back over to the Storm Prediction Center and see if I can get an update on how much instability remains. It's not much. It looks like it's just enough. You know, we're looking at the most unstable areas around 500 to 1,000 CAPE, convective available potential energy. So as that continues to trickle down, we should also continue to improve in our chances here tonight. Tornado warning issued. Is that a new warning? They issued a new one for this storm that we're looking at right now. There appears to be a pretty good velocity signature associated with it. It's not over the top. It's not going to knock you over the head. But let me see if there's a debris signature associated with that. I don't see that yet. but good velocity for sure. Here's your normalized rotation, your inrot, and it does show sufficient rotation there. I'm going to come back over and make this a one panel, and let's take a look at this thing in the third dimension, shall we? Alright, so this is kind of a three-dimensional tour of the storm. Let's see, there you go. So this is volumetric scanner. I mean, basically taking a look at the storm. If you peel back the lighter layers where you're getting the lighter rains, you can see a few things here. First, you can see that light green that's showing how tall the storms are. It's about 40,000 feet. Earlier, when they hit Dayton, they were about 50,000 feet. So the storm is not as tall. That's also a sign of weakening. It's running out of instability. You can see that core, though, located very close to where you're likely seeing that rotating updraft. Now, I also want to look at the rotation in there as well. You do have that tilt to it that is oftentimes the case with supercell thunderstorms. You got that tilted updraft. There's a look at your vorticity tube. Again, that's where the air is rotating and spinning there in the blue and in the green. So the storm it's viable. We'll see how long it can hang on. As I just told you, I checked in with the meso-analysis out there at the Storm Prediction Center looking at improvements. The environment is simply not as conducive as it was. And so hopefully we can let some of these warnings go soon. That would be nice. Again, just thoughts and prayers to our friends that were impacted by, again, the violent tornado across portions of the Dayton area, north suburbs of Dayton. Salina, keep hearing that town and seeing images out of Salina where it looks like they just took a hit, an absolute nasty hit from what I believe will be assessed as a violent tornado, at least strong. The images I've seen would suggest EF3+. Got about 370 people live. Thank you for being on here. ELU, continue to get out, great message. Help the people out. For the Red Cross, help the emergency management teams by marking yourself as safe. If you're in an area that's impacted by that tornado, take ELU's advice and mark yourself as safe. Go to redcross.org. So check that out. Yes, Luke, you should definitely be careful with all the warnings. Weather is very unpredictable times, and you don't want to take any chances with nighttime tornadoes. But all else being equal, we're moving in the right direction. We're going to stay with this a little while longer, again, just to make sure. But knowing what I know about the atmosphere, it's not capable of producing what it did in Dayton right now. Everything's come down. There's not enough fuel. But there is, to produce a violent tornado. There is enough fuel to produce a tornado. Again, so take your precautions. Stay inside that safe place until the threat passes. But I see broad warnings being issued here, and I don't necessarily see need. In my opinion, I think these warnings are a little too broad. Because if you're down here in Albany, that storm is well away from you. May or may not impact your area at all. So go ahead and heed the warnings, yes, but I'm hoping that the Weather Service kind of tones back their language, because this is not the same storm as it was when I went on 3 hours ago for the initial part of this broadcast. Okay, all right, so we're getting some more damage reports coming in here out of Beaver Creek. This is Montgomery County. Thunderstorm wind damage, numerous large trees down, some structural damage near Smithville Road and East 3rd Street. Possible tornado, likely tornado. That's me, that's not them. Likely a tornado. Let's see, where do we stand? Got about 364 people still on here. I'm hoping what we're seeing here is this thing is winding down. And I plan on staying with it as long as I think there's a viable threat. to life and property. Those tornado warnings are probably going to go for a little while, but I just want to make sure that the big danger has subsided. It's definitely come down. The risk has come down. I didn't say there's no risk, so make sure you're hearing me right. Xenia dodged a bullet big time tonight. That's coming in from L, and I know you're right. Okay, Nelsonville in the warning zone, you say? Is it in my map? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. In my opinion, these are very broad warnings, so I'm not going to be as specific with them right now. What I am going to do is pay attention to the data, and when it shows that that thing is spinning up, I'm going to show it to you. Right now, it shows that it's trying to spin a little, but again, these are broad warning areas where I don't want to be as broad. I want to be specific. It's kind of in my nature. There's a specific threat there. Again, you're looking back at analyst radar, and I say specific threat, that's when you're looking at some really good winds. About 72 mile per hour towards the radar site. It's still broad though. 30 to 40 miles per hour away from the radar site, so you're talking about 110 mile per hour. Effective shear, that's enough for them to continue that warning, but again, it's not as strong as it was. It's not gate to gate, it's not as focused. So you'll listen to my voice as I come down in tone. Severe threat, in my opinion, also going down. I want to take this time to check it with our friends across the plains. We've been spending all this time across southern Ohio for good reason. I'm not abandoning Ohio, but I do want to take a look since we're up tonight, and we know that there's another threat out there across the plains, so let's see what the latest is. They're continuing with that tornado warning. It looks like it's now to the still to the west of Grand Island. There's also a tornado warning that's in association with, so again, let me get you on the right radar source. This is some severe weather across Nebraska tonight. There's a severe thunderstorm watch in effect. There's a tornado warning, and that was a legitimate warning last time I checked it. It's off to the west of Grand Island. We're going to investigate that in a minute. And then also I want to show you this storm down here. And I don't have the county name in front of me, but that's also a tornado warning. That goes until 2 a.m. for that location. We'll put this in motion for you, and I'm going to redirect my other radar so that, hold on here. No, we're not. We're going to go back to Ohio. I'm going to get out to Nebraska before this is done. But now we need to go back to Ohio. This is why. I'm seeing that velocity really uptick again. I hate seeing this. I just want it to go away. Alright, so we're seeing some pretty good winds aloft. 70, 80 mile per hour towards the radar site. Make that away from the radar site, towards the radar site right now at about 30. So you're looking at 110 mile per hour effective shear. It's not gate to gate, but effective shear. Let's place the storm marker, see if we've got debris field, possible debris field. It's possible. There's some debris in there. They're not calling it a confirmed at this point. That's the Weather Service. But possible. So where is that going? South Bloomingville, you're still under a tornado warning. Looks like it's going to remain to your north of Eagle Mills. There you go. Tornado warning does continue for Hocking, Pickway, and Ross until 2:15. Right. Okay, John Glenn Airport is back open, says Aaron Quinn. Right, Soupy Sheep. We all want it all to go away. Absolutely. While 2 a.m. still going. I know. No, they don't. They do not have any respect for time at all. Confusing. There's a place just north of Athens, Ohio, called the Plains. That's interesting. I did not notice that. Alright, so watching the, once again, velocity upticking for that storm. And we measured it, looking over to see if there's a possible TDS associated with that. But I don't think this storm is as dangerous as it was. I want to wait till the next frame comes in before we leave this storm. Still several tornado warnings again across that part of Ohio. I want you guys to watch that. Be careful with it. All right, Pittsburgh. That's tomorrow. Pittsburgh's under a risk of tornadoes. I'll share the convective outlook with you again. Jack, thanks for staying up late with me. That's my moderator, Jack Allen, sometimes the co-host on this show. A show we just launched a week and a half ago. So we appreciate you guys being on here. Great audience again tonight. We got on just before the tornado emergency was issued, right as it was being issued. And somebody mentioned Pecos Hank. He's one of my favorite storm chasers. That's Beck. Someone watches Pecos Hank. I do. I love watching that guy. So talking about so informative for a chaser. He's a true scientist at the same time. Love his work. So again, just looking at the one storm. The other one has fallen completely apart, by the way. You've got the two twin supercells. I mean, it's lost all characteristics of being a supercell. It's still a thunderstorm. But that other one, it just does not look nearly as healthy. There they are, though, extending the warning for, looks like they're just kind of warning everything at this point. And I think that, that might be a little bit of an overreaction based on what happened earlier this evening. Because we know that there was a lot of destruction near Dayton tonight. And so some of this has to do with the reaction to that. At least that's just typically the way it works. And you see they did lay down that new tornado warning. And they're kind of warning everything right now. They're just being careful. Eagle Mills to Allensville, that's kind of where it's going. And that's still, that's a good area of rotation in there. I'm hoping that it loses steam quickly, as we've seen more than our share of this stuff tonight. More than our share. Okay, Grace House Church coming in from Azion Sims. Grace House Church just sent a message to look out for members who have been truly been affected by the tornado. So people are looking for those, for people that have been, they're looking for confirmation that you guys are okay. If you were hit, you're in an affected area. It looks like there's a lot of misinformation out there tonight. Those areas that, again, have been affected, you might want to go on to redcross.org and mark yourself safe if you're in a damaged area and you're okay. It's a very broad warning. That's right, Jack. No. I mean, they're just doing their job. They don't want to take any chances tonight. They want to make sure if there are any tornadoes at all, everything is going to be covered. Hey, Jeremy, do you think Ross County is fine now? Ross County, and I've got to place them. Give me a second. Ross County, that's Chillicothe. I think based on Chillicothe's location, you are going to be fine. Yes, you're absolutely fine in Chillicothe, Ohio tonight. Also want to point out that these storms are getting into some terrain. One more reason why I think these storms will begin to fall apart soon. At least that's the hope. Meanwhile, and I just can't have enough monitors open here apparently, I want to see what the storm is doing out there in Nebraska and if we need to go over there. Right now, I plan on sticking with this one just because it's still showing as much rotation as it is. But I do want to check with our friends out there in Nebraska tonight, and so let me see what information I can get on my radar scope, and that'll help me decide what we're going to do. You know, so the problem is with these outbreaks here. I mean, they've been widespread. You know, here we go. Looking at the information there out of Grand Forks. They're fine-tuning some of the tornado warnings. Okay, there's a couple active tornado warnings across Ohio tonight. Nebraska, excuse me. Yeah, you got the one storm that is to the east or west, I should say, of Grand Island. It's not looking as strong as it was. And then a stronger looking storm with a tornado warning south of Sterling, and that is eastern, southeastern Nebraska, south of Omaha. Let's take a look at the rotation there. It's showing some signs. It's not overwhelming. All right, who do we have on here? We've been on for a while. We've got 300 people on live tonight. Been on since shortly before 11 o'clock. We came back on with the new round of tornado warnings. Again, the possible tornado emergency that occurred earlier for Dayton, Ohio. And widespread damage out there. Unfortunately, northern suburbs of Dayton took a hard hit. It may be northern suburbs also of Xenia. Xenia narrowly avoided a hard hit with the storm tonight. Looking at some new damage coming in here. Storms that rode out of Indiana causing significant damage. Here's a look at some more images coming off the Twitter feed tonight. Go back over to that. This is well, I'm not sure what interstate that is. Is that 70? It's not 75. I'll have to pull that back up. I'm not sure what interstate this is, but obviously a lot of debris. One that runs north-south, is that 70? 75 goes to that goes to Columbus. So I'm trying, or is it 71? Either way, there's a look at some of the damage. Severe damage tornado hits Metro Dayton. Highways are covered in debris. Multiple injuries reported. Don't know how many, and we don't know about fatalities yet. Okay, this is storm out in, is this tonight? Okay, not for broadcast. I didn't show you that. Kind of scanning for, there's some more damage. Again, debris, that is 75, north of downtown Dayton. Yeah, it's 71, excuse me, that runs through Columbus and Cleveland. I should know that. Been on that stretch of highway many a times. All right, video coming in from some of the tornado damage in Salina. Let's see if that video is going to play. Okay, it looks like neighborhood pretty heavily damaged here. Looks like you got debris just strewn everywhere. Looks like that guy's garage got blew out. So this video coming in from Dakota Smith via Jennifer Furman. Thank you. Wow, heavy destruction here. You hate to see that. You really hate to see that. So that's Salina, Ohio. We've seen multiple images and videos at times of the actual tornado. There's it at night. This looks like this is from the DLT, Department of Transportation. Tornado 5 miles north of Dayton at about 11:07. So I'm glad we were able to help get the word out. We were coming on just as the tornado emergency was being issued. And so hopefully we helped to protect somebody. This is Chase screenshot from Facebook from the Dayton tornado. That's courtesy Carly Smith. Okay. It's been such a long night, and oh, you just hate to see that. A spa in Brookville. This is a spa that was rebuilt last year, completely destroyed. Trees surrounding it are completely leveled. I hate to see that. That kind of gets us up to speed on the images that have been coming in. Again, tomorrow we'll tell. Tomorrow we'll find out just how bad it is. Unfortunately, I think until we get to the light of day, you just don't know. You won't know. I've been watching the storms out there in Nebraska a little bit tonight. Got some active tornado warnings. I'm not going to stay with those unless I think Grand Island gets in line. I think that storm's going to go north, so I think I'm probably okay to let that one go. Let's go back to Ohio. This is analyst radar. Again, we've got just the one pesky storm that's remaining. It's really putting up a fight. It just doesn't want to let it go. But I will say that couplet has come way down. The velocity couplet is coming down. This is good. This is very good. What I know about the atmosphere right now is it's not nearly as unstable as it was. I'm going to go back over to the mesoanalysis page at the Storm Prediction Center. And there's almost no surface-based CAPE left. It's at 500, maybe 250 units. That's not going to be enough. So I don't plan on sticking with this warning much longer. If you're in the warned area, take your precautions. For this program, though, I'm probably going to let that go here in a little bit. I want to watch it a little longer. I don't want to leave it too soon, make a mistake. But overall, I think we're looking like we're in better shape. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go over to Nebraska for the now. And so let's head on over to Nebraska. I'm going to watch this for just a little while longer. So there's a look at the situation out there. That's a look at the warnings with the radar information. And we go to the last frame there. That's a severe thunderstorm watch. I'm going to turn that watch off. You guys can kind of see the individual storms. New damage reports coming in from the National Weather Service. And I will advise on that in just a moment. Give me a moment while we head on back to Nebraska. Alright, this will get us in close. And everything's winding down, folks. I think we're looking like we're in better shape. Yeah, the scanner sounds just terrible, says Donnie. It does, and that's the tone that it throws out whenever the word tornado is embedded. Whether tornado canceled, tornado warning, whatever it is, it throws out that, it gets your attention. Scanner is just brutal. It is. Okay, so we are back in... this is great news, actually. We're back here in Nebraska. They allow that tornado warning to expire, to go. That's the one to the west of Grand Island. So looking better for our friends across Nebraska tonight. I like to see that. We'll take this a couple severe thunderstorm warnings. Now there is this one that's south of Omaha. Let me sample that. It's just a small tornado warning remaining there in southeastern sections of Nebraska. Looking better, my friends. Hey, again, thank you for being on here and helping to share. Getting the word out that we've had some pretty rough weather tonight. I do appreciate you guys. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe and tag the notification bell. This channel is dedicated to covering high-end severe weather events. Tonight's going to go down as that, unfortunately. So if you want to get notified the next time we're on, please do that. Subscribe and notify, and I appreciate it very much. Looking at the storm here in southeastern Nebraska, tornado warned storm. That's for Crab Orchard, heading towards Vesa. And you can see it's broad rotation, but that is pretty loose, and it's actually moving out of the warned area. They're going to let that go. which is great news. So I'm happy to see that. Let's see if we can't bring this a little bit closer. Back to Ohio we go. Give me a moment while I pull up the Wilmington site. We're back over to the other radar as well. So things are wrapping up in Nebraska tonight. That's excellent news. And we'll take our radar back here into Ohio again, where I think we're wrapping things up there as well. Want to make sure though, we've still got the one cell that's pretty angry looking. You can see those storms have been training over now far southeastern Ohio. You don't typically get tornadoes there, especially at night, which is what makes this as interesting. NBC News is calling the Dayton, Ohio tornado historic, coming in from Brandon H. I hate to see that. I hate to, this is 74 all over again. Don't say that, L. Don't say that. In 74, that event is very dear to me. I'm sure many of you guys don't know, but 1974 is the reason I'm a meteorologist. It actually occurred 1 year before my birth, but it occurred in an F5 from the 1974 event. F5, biggest category ever. As a mile-wide F5, it destroyed my parents' home and my grandparents' homes. They were both destroyed by the same F5. A separate F4 came down at the time, EF4 now, came down over portions of Louisville, Kentucky, destroyed my father's place of business. So my father lost a house and a business from two separate violent tornadoes in the same day. My parents and my grandparents lost homes, and not to mention, they barely escaped with their lives. They outran it in a car, escaped with only seconds to spare. We'll go back into that story another time. But that's the reason I do what I do, because of that personal history with my family and tornadoes. All right, so we're in here looking at the latest, still showing a little bit of rotation with that storm. It's not completely dead, but it does not look nearly as healthy as it was. So let me make sure I'm showing you that, get you on the right radar. All right, images from Dayton look tragic. It does. It does. Starione on here, she said that she survived the 74 outbreak. Well, I'd love to know more about that. The scanner feed is a great feed. Multiple talk groups. Sounds like a Pro 2096 Radio Shack scanner. No delay on the talk groups though. This is a direct feed from the National Weather Service for those that are curious. So basically, as they're getting information, they pass it along, and I can do the same thing in real time to them. That's the wonderful thing about technology and streaming, particularly, because we can take messages back and forth. Not only can I get the information from the Weather Service, deliver it to you in real time, also show you real-time radar data, and at the same time, getting images back from social media, showing what's actually occurring, getting the ground truth. That's how we know, unfortunately, that things are so bad out in Dayton tonight. Thank you for that, Jack, for that plug. You guys can see that documentary. I've got it on. I've got it on this channel. It's on here. You have to dig down a little ways before I started putting up the live streaming stuff associated with this program. Weather Live Now, WX Live Now. There's a website connected to this, WX Live Now. Check it out. You can also go to kappellweather.com. My name is spelled Kappell with a K, two P's, two L's. That's it, folks. I think we're about done here. I am very happy to say that things are looking a lot better. I think we have ridden this thing to the bitter end. That storm, a little bit of rotation. They're going to ride that warning a little longer. I think it's a low probability at this point that there's jeopardy to life, maybe some minor property, but I even doubt that. Don't let your guards down. There's a reason the warnings are up here, but again, I just want to let you know. Kevin Loomis, thanks for keeping us updated. You betcha. What is the current count in Ohio? What are we counting? Number of tornadoes? I can't tell you how many confirmed tornadoes I've been on here with this broadcast tonight, but there's been a lot, a whole lot. So I think this baby's about done, folks. Any other last comments? If you guys want to chat for a minute, we can do that. Again, my YouTube audience at 280 people. You guys have done a great job. Thank you for helping me get the word out. And thank you for the information that you've been providing me and my moderator tonight, Jack Allen, and earlier, Jerry Edwards. These guys are doing a great job. Excellent job. I have family in Athens area, so thank you for keeping me informed, says Brandon H. Absolutely, you guys are the real rock stars, because if we don't have you here, then really all the work I'm doing is pointless. Because if we're not communicating that to other people that can also help turn around and communicate that to other people, then there's really no point in me being on here. But that's the beautiful thing about social media and where we are at in the state of streaming social media, is that we can impact so many people. You know, back in the day, you had to resort for radio or TV communications. Man, we are going to go light years ahead of that with the social medias that are involved today. And so thanks for being a part of this change, and a part of potentially helping to get the word out, potentially saving a life tonight. We don't know, but we know that we did our job, right? Right. Okay, thank you from Northeast Ohio. You're welcome. Thank you, Jack. He's talking about some hardware that I've been able to rack up along the way during my broadcast career. I actually had some of my friends over here tonight, including Jack Allen and our friend David Goley, and they were just checking out the studio. Jack, he's been here quite often, and he'll be back again maybe tomorrow. Jack, I don't know. Let me know what your schedule looks like. I'm hoping that we don't have a repeat of what we had tonight. But again, the way this tornado season is going, you just don't know. You bet you, says Elu, says thank you. And it's Jack and Jerry with helping to moderate this tonight. Thank you very much. 270 people on here. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Joseph Bennett talking about Pennsylvania. He's concerned about tomorrow. I will show that, by the way, the Storm Prediction Center map one more time before we leave, since tomorrow will bring us another day. Tomorrow will bring its own concerns. I'm not worried about tomorrow right now. At least I'm trying not to be. But indeed, we'll have to watch out to see what those storms do here tomorrow. I'm going to bring you over to the Storm Prediction Center map and talking about what tomorrow may bring. All right, so here it is. This is what you guys can expect tomorrow. There's two areas of an enhanced risk tomorrow. The first one I'll mention, and if you're watching from Western New York, I think we're okay. Far southern part of the state, there's a slight risk in that yellow area. I'm not really worried about the marginal risk in green right now. I'm just not worried. Pittsburgh, Harrisburg to close to Philadelphia. That's an enhanced risk. Again, this is all associated with the system that's occurring tonight. It's going to continue to weaken overnight. Tomorrow morning, it'll be even weaker. But then with heating tomorrow, we'll look out for maybe more action. I'm actually more concerned with this area here across the plains. Both areas need to be monitored, and I will monitor them. But from near Omaha to Oklahoma City, Kansas City to Tulsa to Topeka to Wichita, that's an enhanced risk, and I believe here they're going to have to upgrade to a moderate. That's just from what I've looked at. So again, the potential is there for bad weather tomorrow. We hope not, but that's the way it looks. One final look at radar, and then we're going to let this one go to bed. When I say this one, I mean this one. I think these storms are done. Again, prayers for our friends that are affected down there in the Dayton area, northern suburbs of Dayton, and also for Xenia, that was so hard hit tonight. We'll find out in the morning just how bad it is. Prayers for all those that are affected. And that's it for me, guys. Again, thanks for everybody being here. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and the notification bell for next time. Again, this channel is dedicated for covering these high-end events. Thank you for being a part of tonight. That's it. You guys have a wonderful night. Stay safe out there, and we'll be back. Talk to you soon. By the way, you can also find me on other social medias. Look for me on Instagram. Look for me on Twitter, and also on Facebook. Last name, by the way, is Kappell. That's Jeremy Kappell. Kappell spelled with a K, two P's, two L's. All right, love you guys. Thanks for being here. We'll talk to you again soon.